What is up, everybody? Welcome to Underground Crypto. Deep dive research show, that is. Realizing I spent way too much time messing with this new webcam. Hopefully higher quality, but I don't have it ready for today's stream, really. And I don't have crypto bubbles up. Mic check complete. Mic check sounds good to me. Let me know what you think of the mic. Maybe the music level. I don't even know what it's at right now. I did mess with it. Get rid of the things we don't need. Giving people a minute to hop in. I'm fixing what I need to fix here. Apologize for the inconvenience of the show not starting right away. It'll be like maybe 30 more seconds, so don't run off. Don't run off. I don't know why I was muting my microphone and then I was still coming through. I don't know. I have no idea. So many settings in OBS. All right. There we are. And it's on the wrong thing. Got to love that. Even though it says it's on the right thing. If you've never had to set up all your settings in live stream through OBS, you have no idea what kind of headache it is. I didn't go to school for it like the lifer either, so I'm just figuring all this stuff out on the fly. Well, how many people's feelings are hurt because the market is not doing what we want it to do? And I don't mean to take shots at nobody. Like, I get it. I've been mad about the market before. At this point, though, I have no feelings. I'm just straight numb. I gotta put this dread sock back a little more, though. All right, let's take off here. Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. We're on Crypto Bubbles, and it looks like CoAI is up 75% again today. What is up with this thing? It's up to $22. Man, and why is it pumping when everything else is dumping? That, I think, is a good question. It's worth a little bit of deep dive. Let's see what the hour looks like. The hour looks significantly more green. It's just like the reverse of the daily, right? Like daily, everything red, CoAI green. Hour, everything green, CoAI red. I like that. No, I don't. It doesn't really matter. Honestly, the hour, things have obviously moved very little, and CoAI has an 8.5% pullback, which is nothing really all that significant. Again, I usually have my frames set up a little bit more, but that's okay because we are deep diving and researching together. The whole point of this show is that we learn and raise our crypto IQs together. Been doing this for some time, so I might know a thing or two, but that doesn't mean I don't learn new stuff every day on the stream. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about where our prices are. I like to do this at the beginning of the stream because we're waiting for people to roll in anyways. Shout out to Garden Warrior if he's still here. Sometimes people drop by and they leave a comment like way earlier, like hours earlier, because I set up the stream at like 12 o'clock, right? So I don't know if he's still here, but shout out to Garden Warrior. And of course, shout out to Blues Guy. Don't let the outside world dictate how you feel. Stay calm in the middle of the storm is mastery. Absolutely. And this might be underground crypto, but we are really orchestrated towards success in general. Obviously, success in crypto, in my opinion, helps a lot when you know about crypto, right? You ever been real successful in something you knew very little about? Didn't think so. You know, maybe you got lucky and won the lottery, but that doesn't mean you really knew what you were doing. Anyways, let's get to the numbers before we get into all the philosophics around here. Bitcoin, 828. So 110,000, almost 111,000, down 10% in the last 7 days, which is a big move for Bitcoin. What is going on with the Bitcoin? We are really starting to lose some of the levels that I care about a lot, like Ethereum at 4,000. What is going on? Everybody is crying. I don't want to put it too harshly, but everybody's very upset because they were promised a Pumptober, and we are not getting a Pumptober. And the closer we get to what is considered to be the 4-year cycle, the more people are getting really nervous. So what are they going to do? Now, man, I thought it's worth talking about as we let people hop on. Reliable J in the house. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for hopping in. I thought about this way back, right? As we were coming through the bull market, you know, the market makers never make it easy, and the market makers make the money, right? That's why they're the market makers. And then you have the big whales and the what we call smart money, and they never make it simple. So, like, if everybody believes in the 4-year cycle, doesn't mean that the 4-year cycle might not stay intact. It just means they're going to really mess with stuff, right? And these are all my thoughts and opinions, right? So I'm not telling you what to do. None of this is financial advice, but understand that, like, they bought a lot of things like Ethereum and Bitcoin. I don't think they bought a lot of Dogecoin, although Dogecoin is one of those coins that are kind of in the middle. Like a lot of institutions and stuff might have bought a little bit of like Litecoin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin's been around for over 10 years at this point. So it's seen a little bit different than, say, Shiba Inu or, Fartcoin. Things that are newer, right? They're not tested. They haven't stand a test of time to really validate them. My point is the big whales in smart money, they invest slowly but a lot of money at a time, and they're looking for things that are tried and true, and they want returns on things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. I don't think they care if Shiba Inu or Pepe Coin moves at all. That's more driven by retail as far as I understand. And again, not telling anybody what to do, but these are things to think about. So there is a chance that a lot of altcoins don't get the movement, because if the institutions are not moving it and the retail is scared and not coming in hard, well, then who is going to move all that stuff, right? Now, of course, there's independent people with millions of dollars who can place their bets and move things around. I like how Blue Sky called Reliable J RJ. That's different. I have a couple friends named RJ. So, again, let's go down the list. BNB 1,162. XRP $2.41. Solana 194, losing just like Ethereum is losing that $4,000 marker. Solana's losing that $200 marker. I don't like to see that. Tron 31 cents. Dogecoin 19. Hate to see Dogecoin under 20 cents. I like it more closer to 25, right? But what I like doesn't really matter. Cardano 66 cents. Let's see. Chainlink $18. XLM 32. Hyper $37.40. And by XLM I mean 32 cents. SWI $2.68. And then where's HBAR? 17, a very high 17 cents for HBAR. And where was I going with that whole thing? Well, where I was going with is we were getting really close to what would be the 4-year cycle, right? And then we have the whole elongated cycle, Do they just kind of fake everybody out, go a month or so longer than normal? Or are we talking an extra year? Like, nobody knows at this point. We're playing it day by day. And for a lot of people who I feel like we're counting on the 4-year cycle, I have had a feeling for a really long time, even if I didn't want to say it out loud, that they were going to really mess with it. That they were really going to mess with the 4-year cycle and the confidence people have in the 4-year cycle. Has anyone else been having YouTube issues this morning? Had to reset my phone? Not particularly, no. Can't say that I have, but that can all be depending on where you are, because we all have different internet providers, right? Yes, at Garden Warrior, I had to sign out and sign back in. Okay, so Lindsay Lynn's had some of those issues as well. YouTube wasn't working for me, right? I was wondering what was going on. That's weird. We have a really good amount of people flowing in, so YouTube must have actually sent out the notifications properly. As anybody knows, especially if you run any kind of channel on YouTube, they do not always send out those notifications that you're live, and it can hurt you big time. CM77 in the house. It's over, bro. Yeah, Cryptomaniac. Blues guy giving everybody nicknames. I like that. And then he says it's over, bro. Not sure what he's referring to being over. The 4-year cycle? Could be. I mean, all it has to do is go past the allotted time for the 4-year cycle, and you could say it's broken. Now, how broken is it going to be? Because as soon as we say it's broken, then we kind of got to start thinking about how broken is it? Is it like elongated by a month or two, or are we talking about an extra year? Or is it just done and we no longer have any kind of cycle at all? I don't know. Does that mean adoption is here, or does that mean that we're completely broken? Like, what does that actually mean? Anyways, let's move on to our what is trending. Really, the first hour of the show now, and I like it, I think it should be this way, is very much about what is trending, what is new, top gainers, top losers. I think that's a good look for the show. I hope everybody agrees with that. LL in the house. Hey, he's not stopping. I got the notification, just couldn't load the stream. Okay. Well, one thing I really noticed that a lot more people are flowing in, so I don't know if it's sending that notification out more than most people. Hopefully everything's good now, right? And of course, I was messing with all my settings, so hopefully nothing is too far off. So this bless finally looks like it has been blessed. We've talked about this thing a lot. Not financial advice. And yeah, it just ripped today, 300%. Gotta love that. And why? The market hasn't been good today, so why did this thing rip? BNB chain, Solana contract address. It's DPIN. What does DPIN mean? Binance Alpha Spotlight. If you came to our DPIN stream, you would know what DPIN means. It's decentralized infrastructure. Yeah, he says, yes, underground cycles are over. Yeah, it's looking that way, which really makes it hard to know what to do in this market, right? I'll be listening, but can't chat for a bit, getting my daughters ready for bed. We understand, Crypto Maniac, and we're just glad that you're here. So thank you very much. So Bless, getting a 300% rip. No, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. 540% rip in the last 24 hours. It's pretty good. Running from about 3 cents to where it is now at about 20 cents or 19.5 cents. Looks like it definitely went to higher. Yep, 21.5 cents. Is it worth saying the half cents? I don't know. But it's 21 cents that it ran up to, and now it's chilling. Did you miss it? Is there still moves for this? 364.4 million in market cap. If we look at crypto bubbles on the day, everything is red. Not huge percentages. I mean, Cake's down 12%, but it's been running, right? Tau, the things that have been running the most, taking the bigger hit. Aster down 14.6%. And then it's the age-old question, right? Are people just pulling it down to load up? Did we already top out? We did, I believe, I can't really remember what time frame it's on. I believe we had a double top on like the daily or the weekly or something. I don't know. It's not a TA channel, so don't come here for that kind of TA. But remember, the last cycle had a double top. Just things we have to think about. I don't want everybody going running scared into the night about what we say here. But it's something we definitely have to keep in mind. So let's pull back. I can never help myself from clicking on the coins. We kind of want to go over everything that's trending before we jump quickly into individual coins. The coins that matter will remain, absolutely. And I probably hold too many coins that don't matter, actually. So where did Chain Opera go? It's only at $16, up 82% on the day. But you got to think the day, today it started down at like $9. And if we go to like the 3-month chart, which we'll go to the month. But like this first spike that we had, when I saw it spiked up that hard and then gave it like all back, like within like a day. I mean, that top was on the 12th and this bottom was still the 12th. It gave all that back. I wasn't too sure about the coin, right? And it's already popped from that, you know, $8.30 low to where it is now at 16. That's a double up. So is this thing going to keep running? And again, it had topped out. This thing says it topped out at 34, but it was actually like 40 something. Sometimes I don't know. Like they adjust these later on. Because what I know to be top prices for projects, you'll come look back like 2, 3, 4 days later, and it'll say something totally different. This thing definitely went to like $40, not 34. Why it adjust them and change them, I don't know. Seems a little sketchy in my opinion. Anyways, we're rolling down. So what's trending? Zcash, still trending. BitTensor, we talked about how the one day, I think it was Sunday, we saw that there was a bunch of subnets. What is a subnet in Tensor? To the Tensor protocol, a subnet is kind of just like a project on Ethereum would be, right? Anyways, they have a whole governance and thing about how they do it. We dug into it a little bit. It was very crypto IQ raising, I would say. But BitTensor is still trending. I don't really see all of the subnets kind of getting as much buzz, but BitTensor's still moving. And of course, BitTensor has a $3.9 billion market cap. So it's going to take some money to move that thing, even to get like a double up, right? Even to get to like, say, $800. But if you got in early on that one, congratulations. See what we got going on in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you, Lindsay. He's talking to Mr. J. Mr. J in the house. Love to see that. Yep, we mimicking same top as last run, so stochastics and RSI. Got some bearish div. I don't know, bro. It looks like more and more downside. Yeah, exactly, Blues guy. And it's I think it's disappointing, but I don't think it's an accident. Well, I know it's disappointing for anybody who's been here since the bear market buying, like we were told was best to do. And it's really easy to get really upset about it, right? Again, fear and greed index at 28, getting down in that red. Some of those are the best positions to get into. And crypto can turn around and run, right? We could be back in a week from now. We could be back at like 126, right? It can easily happen. So we don't know what's going on. So you want to be slow to move, right? I wouldn't be selling in and out of the market. You're probably going to get wrecked and lose money, but that's just me. That's my personal opinion. You do what you think is best for you. All right, let's look at what's trending over on CryptoRank. And we're going to be having a lot of conversations about stuff like that as we move closer and closer to what would be the 4-year cycle. Hopefully we could at least get like a small pop, right? At least to give us an opportunity to get out and monitor. And like I said, it's really easy to get very upset with the market. I would take a deep breath. We've been here many times as far as seeing crashes. The show must go on. Exactly. And here's the real question. If we go into a bear market, will you guys stay? And I mean that in kind of every way. Will you stay optimistic about crypto? Will you stay in the market? Will you stay coming to this channel? Will you stay caring about knowing about crypto, even if you're not in the bear market? Because a lot of the money, like even with all of this drawdown and the lack of pump, with what I started with and when I invested time-wise, I'm still doing well. You know, it's not all the hopes and dreams that I had hoped for and been, you know, I don't want to say it was promised, but some of these YouTubers out here definitely be acting like you was going to get rich very quickly in the 4-year cycle, in reference to the 4-year cycle. Not quickly by most people's opinions, right? But you hear people say a lot like if you're in crypto for 7 to 8 years, most people are millionaires by then, right? We've all heard that. But if this cycle changes and we don't really have altcoin seasons anymore, will that still happen? So yeah, like a retracement will happen to trick people. Oh yeah, all the time. Yes, because it won't be bearish forever. Pack that knowledge in. Knowledge is power always. And exactly, Lindsay, and that's exactly what I want to hear. Not because I just, you know, run a channel where I talk about this stuff and I like people coming and people to interact with, but also because in the bear market, in the roughest times of the market is usually where most of the opportunity lies, both for education, you know, grinding and learning during when most people aren't paying attention, and also for price action on projects. Now, what do I see here that's different for trending on CryptoRank? Not a lot. I see Lena's back to trending. Of course, Co-AI is going to be trending. It's like the only thing green today, and that should tell you something. It's very strong and has a lot of volume. Why, I'm not really sure. As what they do, it's obviously connections in my opinion, but what the actual project does, there are many other projects that do something similar. Everybody just talking to each other. I guess I don't really need to read every chat. So INSO, we talked about INSO yesterday. We talked about Whitebridge. We talked about Monad. These are kind of the newer projects that I'm seeing that we've been over, but not as many times as we've been over Falcon Finance or Zcash. We had a long discussion about Zcash. We even talked about yesterday, we got a little bit conspiratorial about how, like, notice Zcash, which is a privacy coin, because yesterday we did privacy coins. I thought that was a great stream for anybody who missed it. I highly recommend you watching that for your crypto IQ. We talked all about privacy coins and how they work. Zcash got a lot of pump the week before that big crash. And what does a privacy coin mostly let you do? Well, it lets you move around money and people can't see it. So were people buying Zcash to move into positions and then using Zcash to get out of positions and move money around so that you couldn't really see what they're doing and who some of these bad, or I don't know how they could be good actors, but actors in general. So that's a little bit of a thought. You know, we do deep dive and research. I put thoughts out there for you guys to chew on, and as a community we chew it up and we kind of see if we can find some answers. But I'm not telling you what to think, right? We had a long conversation about that yesterday. Grinding like you do underground, absolutely. Thank you. It's 8:22 p.m. Yeah, same for me. My time today was really great day. Yeah, absolutely. And I had a lot of things to do that were outside of crypto, so definitely was a good day. But I didn't get as much done for the channel as I would like to have. My voice still being messed up is kind of keeping me away from filming videos and stuff, because I don't want to sound ridiculous, right? Although I guess I don't care on the live stream. Anyways, attention coins, top 10, pack bags accordingly. Yeah, exactly. It is an attention economy. And Lindsay Lynn says, at Underground Crypto, I brought a friend this evening. She's listening to, introducing her to all this stuff. Awesome. Thank you very much for bringing somebody to the channel. We love to see that. And if she feels like it, no pressure, have her drop a comment so we can all welcome her into the Underground Crypto, community, or just welcome her to the stream. And so, yeah, that's what we talked about there. What else do we got going on? That E Finance, I mean, that thing boomed yesterday. That thing had some numbers. Kalshi, what is Kalshi? We definitely talked about it. It's like a sports betting thing. We will look at it, I'm sure. Recall. And then, of course, INSO again. And you will see duplicates, because these are two different lists you got. You got top 20 coins that have been searched in the last 7 days, and top 20 most visited coins in the last 7 days. And I just had the thought, Lindsay Lynn's, for your friend, what is it that she's into in crypto? What is it that she's looking for? If she feels like dropping that in the comment, just another bit of data for me to keep in the back of my head of what people watching are really looking for. So let's hop back over and start our actual analysis of different coins that are trending. So again, we have Bless. I don't know whose idea it was to make their logo black, or is their logo just not even there? It looks like it was there, but it was like just they made the logo black, so the black on black background. Let's see. Let's turn dark mode off. Yeah, look at the logo there when we have it on light mode. Somebody didn't think that through, because almost every website has a dark mode. So, and then why would you make, I don't know. I don't know. If you have a symbol for a coin called Bless, why would you make its logo black? I'm not going to get into that. So manipulation from Zcash pump insiders. Yes, very possible. So Lindsay's friend in the house. Okay, thank you. Don't think through dark mode. They don't think through dark mode. Yeah, it didn't seem like that. Underground, did I mention how grateful I was today about you and your channel? Well, I am, bro. Keep it up. Thank you very much. I appreciate you always being here, Blues Guy. A huge supporter of the channel, and I cannot thank you enough, for sure. And he's always in here greeting everybody. When I'm talking about a project, he puts more information. I mean, he is really showing up for the community. And that's the type of thing, like, you can't make nobody do that. I'm not even getting paid right now from the channel. Obviously, I do this because I love it. So I'm not in a position to pay nobody. So, Blues Guy might have a wrench, but he's just showing up for the community. I'm not paying him to do all the things that he does. So we should all kind of thank Blues Guy for all that he does as well. So market cap, $360.6 million. To be honest, I don't find that to be a very big market cap. And what is it, right? We talk about it. We say the name enough of the project, but what is it? Now, I've been on their website countless times. This is not the only project that falls into this category, but we will go down to categories, right? So DePIN, which is infrastructure, right? Decentralized infrastructure. Don't know what, I feel like they could use a better acronym for it, maybe. That would make a little more sense to people when they saw the acronym. I feel like a lot of people struggle remembering what DePIN is. Binance Alpha Spotlight is really the only other tag we got here. So let's hop over to the website. It says the world's first shared computer. What does that mean, right? The next supercomputer will be one machine shared. And then they crossed out one machine and they just put shared, right? So not It's really actually quite interesting because if you think about centralization and decentralization, this is decentralized smart computer, right? Because a centralized would be like us building, or not us particularly, but somebody building a warehouse and a giant supercomputer with all of this, different RAM and GPU and all different capabilities. And then, of course, them being a company and selling all of that stuff out to people to use, right? Probably mostly AI companies, right? Because they suck up a lot of the GPU and the memory and stuff like that. But instead, they have the idea that let's kind of get all the collective out there. Everybody's got computers and TVs and everything running and smartphones and all this stuff, and it's a lot of times not being used. A project that's very similar to this that I talk about a lot is Grass. And there is a link in the description if you're interested in that. You can mine Grass, and that kind of allows you to use your unused internet when you're not using your internet, basically, and allowing them to kind of tap in and use it and kind of give you something for it, right? What am I missing in the chat here? This stream is not the same without Blues Guy. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And he says he welds for 12 hours a day, and he still makes sure that he's here. That's commitment. That's the type of thing, like, you can't make people do stuff like that. They have to really want to do that. And so you're exceptionally blessed when people go out of their way like that. It really reminds me of how I've always shown up for Lifer's stream. Not that he needs me in any, particular way. He's got plenty of people who come to his stream, but I always made the commitment to come to his stream to make sure I was saying something, commenting. A lot of times I was under a different account, so most people probably wouldn't have recognized that was me. But anyways, to have somebody show up for you like that when you start streaming, man, that is really big. Had to hit this coffee so that I can last the entirety of the stream. So let's talk about Bless, right? Supercomputer that is decentralized. And so they're grabbing all of this stuff, GPU, memory, whatever it is, processing power. I'm not a computer nerd, so I understand some of this stuff, but I can't break it down for you in great detail. But you install the extension. His website's weird. Share your idle resources. So that's what you would consider it, right? Resources that are sitting idle. And then accrue time, right? Time that you've let them use it, that tracks your uptime. And then they give you some kind of reward for it. Now, with all transparency, even though I say I like Grass and I let people, click the link and use it, and I get something for it. I have no idea what I get for it, to be honest with you. But, I've been doing it for a while, and they haven't given me any Grass, like the actual token. Like, I haven't got like a financial reward for it yet. Now, I haven't looked at it in probably like a month or so. They do it in what you would recognize as like quarters or airdrops and stuff like that. Like, I have a bunch of reward points, but like, I don't really care about reward points. I'm gonna be honest. I want financial incentive. I want, tokens to go to a wallet. So... And it could be my own lack of due diligence. Maybe I need to go to the wallet that it's connected with and see if they've put anything in there. Or maybe I need to make sure that the Grass token is actually in the wallet so that that shows up. If you've ever used a decentralized wallet like MetaMask, you can have coins in there that don't show up when you go there because you haven't added that coin to the wallet, right? So it's there in code, but it doesn't show up for you because you haven't programmed it to show up. And these are really some of the drawbacks of Web3 as it is in its early stage. It's kind of like why we need things like Anoma, to kind of have that intent layer or that idea of intention. And then the back end really figures out all the technical stuff, right? So let's see what we got going on in the chat, because the chat is always booming. Blues Guy, hope you've invested in the best face shield. What did I miss there, right? Okay, let's see. He welds 12 hours. The stream is not the same without Blues Guy, exactly. And sing in the weekend. I am busy, but always find time for what feels right. Your channel feels right. Man, that's amazing, man. That is so cool. Hope you guys have invested in the best face shield. Okay, why do we need face shields? I'm not sure. I missed something, right? Guys, I've checked out some of your videos here too. Oh, at Blues Guy. Yeah, Blues Guy even posted some of his videos of him doing music. I love blues. I'm a big music person for nobody for anybody. I don't know why I said nobody. For anybody who doesn't know, right? So all rising tides lifts all ships, exactly. And then we have AP Young, who says, Lindsay Lynn's friend here, so greetings, welcome in, welcome in. Just trying to learn crypto so I can retire in the M Club in the next 7 to 10 years. Well, I like that your time frame is reasonable, right? In 7 to 10 years, that's doable. People come in and they want that in one cycle or worse or less, I should say. And that's where people start doing things that are desperate. And that doesn't end well usually. So I think you have a good time frame. And it depends on what kind of money you're working with. I'll never tell you what to do with your money. We do deep dive and research. And sometimes I'll talk about what I would do in certain situations. But that's a little bit different than me telling you what to do, right? So just signed a 1-year contract with Rooster Restaurant to play every weekend. I am blessed, so blessed. You guys make me smile and it feels good. Hey man, that is awesome. That's a big thing when you're somebody who wants to play music, live, to get a 1-year contract. That's awesome. And Blues Guy, I don't know if you'd like the music, but I have some buddies that are getting really big in their band. They do psych rock. I don't know if you're into that, but I could always show you their new EP. They're actually about to drop an album. He does a lot of stuff, and I'm a big supporter of him. I go to every show and all that stuff. I also love Grass. Yeah, I know what you're referring to, Blues Guy. He means the project, for sure. He definitely means the project. Let's see. At Blues Guy, you guys are fantastic. Keep going, my friend. El Cheeto in the house. I saw you on Crypto Livestream today. Cheers, cheers. Good morning or good night. Where are you from, Lindsay? You are pretty cool yourself. Let's see. Face shield. Oh, for welding. That probably should have been obvious, right? My mind's in the crypto. I'm a welder. Face shield. Yeah. Time frames. I don't like them no more. All right. I feel like we covered everything there. Underground Crypto. Will you post that in your Discord? I am an audiophile. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely post that. They're called Domino Pink. They're a psych rock band, and pretty much, my brother. I would consider him my brother. Matter of fact, it's a good time to say that this Saturday, I'm actually going to go hang out with them in the band and stuff like that. And so I won't be doing a live stream on Saturday. But that'll happen here and there, but a lot of times we're going to be going. So we were talking about Bless. Bless is a supercomputer that uses idle resources from all around. There's some different angles that you could think about this from. One, it seems awesome that they're using, like the whole eco-friendly green movement. They're using electricity that's already being used and idle resources that already exist instead of creating a bunch. You can look at it that way. Or you could look at it like they kind of want your stuff for free so that they can sell it on the market, make tons of money from these, back ends of AI and stuff like that. They're going to make a lot of money. Like, let's not play games about the truth here. And you're going to get probably very little. And like in the case of Grass, the project, and again, it could be my lack of due diligence at this moment because I'm managing a lot of things, but I haven't really seen a financial. Like, I want something that's worth something. Like the Grass token, maybe. They have a token. Why can't I have some of that? Anyways, I digress. I don't know if they're going to be a little better about it, but let's not pretend like this is not a business and they're not going to sell your idle resources. And also, not to mention, they will have access. So there's all of those type of things to think about, right? Congrats, Blues Guy. Hello, friend. Hope you had a good day. All right. We have Archangel Tron. What's up? I'm pretty sure I've seen that username before. Welcome in, welcome in. And what else do we have here that's worth looking over? There is this EDU, and I'm not going to go too hard on this because we spent quite a bit of time yesterday. One of the first things I want to say about this is it's connected to BNB. It has the education category, right? I do like that it's education versus, like, say, charity. It's not necessarily charity, it's education. But one thing that's very tied into all of these education type things, or especially this one, see Binance Lab, YZI Labs, which was previously Binance Labs, so very much a Binance project. We've seen a lot of these pump. That doesn't mean this one will. And it's Binance, Ethereum, and Arbitrum. But the connection here is, like, think about like Giggles and stuff. There is like quite a few projects that CZ and Binance seems to be incubating or a part of. Giggles Giggles feels like CZ himself is a little bit more interested in personally for whatever reason, as he also was in their spaces. And this project's tiny, guys. It must be a connection thing for it to get his attention, right? He was in their spaces giving them information and tips and stuff like that. So why is he interested in that? Giggles is like education. I think it's for, younger children. Maybe this open education is for older people, maybe college or high school. But either way, I find them kind of interrelated, and I find it interesting that Binance and CZ himself is so interested in this, right? What am I missing in the chat? Yes, Underground, I'm interested. Tell me more about your friends band. Yeah, I absolutely will. I'll put it in the Discord for sure. All right, 97.7 million in market cap. And my buddy even comes to the stream a lot of the time, usually on the weekends, though. So we'll go to their website real quick here. Education starts with EDU. Open Campus is building a blockchain-powered financial layer for education with accessible student financing and trusted credentials to meet real-world needs at scale. So this is maybe not so much about being a college as it is student financing. Very interesting. Trade Intuition in the house. Welcome back. Welcome back. Says, remember to smash that like button. It's the easiest way to show your support. Absolutely. Helps the channel grow. Thank you for helping with the like. Yep. Giggle will be a monster. Yeah, let's take 2 seconds here to actually pull up Giggle. So I don't know what it's done lately, and with all of this dumping, who knows where it's sitting. And it's called Giggle Fun. There is another project called Giggles. It's not the same thing. So let's look at it on the monthly. And it had this huge pump from around $16. It's chilling at 105. It's chilling at, or when it's high as, I should say, 161. Call it 162. The thing that I've noticed about this project that makes me really bullish about it is it has 1 million max supply. I mean, think about it. The smaller the max supply, or really truthfully the circulating supply, it's the same here, but it's not for every project, is that the price per unit is the circulating supply divided by the market cap, right? And that is what we call tokenomics. And this is actually probably a really good IQ moment for what I call a crypto IQ. That's kind of the branding of the channel. Not trying to be like a smart know-it-all. But for Lindsay Lynn's friend who said is trying to learn crypto, tokenomics when you're looking at a project, aka an investment, is a big deal. Understanding how the money is, how it's going to go up, right? There's several different things we could get into there that I'm not going to do right now, but I get into them here and there, and you will certainly pick them up if you come to the stream often. That is the value of coming often to the stream, right? Starknet was a Bitcoin. They both start with a B, right? Bitcoin DeFi. That's what Starknet is. And Bitcoin DeFi is really an interesting topic to talk about, especially when you talk about Bitcoin layer 2. You'll hear this thrown around, and I guess we could hash this out a little bit, right? As far as I understand, I know that you have the Lightning Network to speed up transactions, right? Because Bitcoin was slow. It's the original. The tech was not all put together. It's a great store of value, but doesn't really work well as far as moving quickly. Like, look at Solana's most recent upgrade, what we call throughput or finality, how quick it's able to finish a transaction through all the validators and stuff, right? Not to get over technical, but when you put in a transaction in a network, you kind of want it to be put through the network and done as quickly as possible. I think that's a no-brainer there. You don't have to be a computer whiz to understand that. And so Bitcoin was not on that level. But my point is, can any of these projects be a true layer 2 on Bitcoin when Bitcoin doesn't, as far as I know, and I could be wrong about this, I should look this up, I'll write that down, but I don't believe that Bitcoin has smart contracts at the current moment. Anyways, let's hop into the chat here so I don't miss too much, get too far behind. And I'm not too far behind, good. Trade Intuition says, can't stay long today, have stuff I'm doing, smash like. Thank you very much for hopping in here. Trying to be here for about an hour or so. I really appreciate that. And yeah, He's been coming here for a few days for sure, so that's awesome. Thank you for being kind and breaking it down. That's why I brought my friend. Absolutely. Absolutely, Lindsay Lins. And I want to make it as, it's all about raising crypto IQ. So one thing I have to keep in mind for myself as I do this is, obviously, I'm doing this every day, so I'm building a lot of knowledge in crypto and have been for a while. I got to slow down a little bit and make sure that everybody can catch up. That's why it's great when people can comment if they kind of don't understand something that I'm saying, or I skip over something. Even when I'm looking at like the what's trending, right? We do that on a daily basis. So I tend to, if we've talked about a project, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 times over the course of 2 weeks, I might not click on it that day, right? Like I haven't clicked on Stark in a while for that very reason. So if you're hanging out and you're used to coming here and you've heard me say this before, drop it in the comment. Let me know that you want me to look at that because you don't remember what it is or something, and I absolutely will. Or, again, I haven't said this in a while, if there's a coin you want me to look at and do kind of like a deep dive analysis on, you can absolutely drop that in the comment as well. So the Bitcoin DeFi layer, supercharged by ZK Tech. What is ZK Tech? And a lot of things, this is mostly directed towards anybody who's new. A lot of things are just definitional words. When you were a kid and you were in school and you'd be given a new list of words that you had to learn the definition of, and there'd usually be a quiz at the end of the week, right? This is the same idea. Knowing what certain things mean is going to take you very far as understanding what's being said to you or presented. Like ZK means zero knowledge, has to do with verifying transactions, right? How do you verify transactions? Originally, we had something called optimistic, right? And that's where the project Optimism comes from. And they still use Optimism, roll-ups. Roll-ups is kind of another idea because you're rolling it up, right? There's a lot of things you can go into there, but just know that zero knowledge is pretty much the evolution of that. Sometimes they use them in tandem together, but zero knowledge is about being able, and this is talking about the network, right? The blockchain being able to look at something, verify that it is legitimate and should be added to the ledger, but not really having a lot of knowledge or any knowledge about what the transaction is, right? So hopefully that helps. What else we got here? Blue Sky likes roll-ups. All right. I mean, those fruit roll-ups were fire when you were a kid. Can't eat them things nowadays. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I even saw one, to be honest with you. Earn yield on your Bitcoin securely and easily. So this is all about Bitcoin yield. Talking about StarkNet. Everything, what I've noticed, and to be honest, when I first started deep diving and researching, I didn't really understand how powerful ecosystems and liquidity is, right? So, of course, it should have been obvious because the money in an ecosystem is what allows the ecosystem to grow. If there's no money or no ability for new people to come in, get some funding, and hire developers, hire teams, and pay them, and all of that kind of stuff, then nobody builds and nothing gets done. So now when it comes to ecosystems, I pay a lot of attention. And I don't know if anybody caught what the theme of the day is, right? We're talking about the SEI ecosystem, SEI. I think a lot of people originally confused it with SWI. I don't think people do that so much anymore. But it came out after SWI, but SWI was very new and then SEI was very new, and I'd watch people on social media and stuff kind of confuse them with each other. I don't know how you do that, but you do. The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure that SWI in like Japanese means like water, right? So here's INSO. And I only saw this thing trending maybe yesterday was the first time. If it wasn't yesterday, it was like the day before that. Shout out to everybody who's here. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. There is a link to the Discord in the descriptions. I am updating. Got to update the link to the description. So if you're going to join the Discord, don't click it just yet. Give me 1 second here. I used to do it when I made the stream. Why they changed the link to the Discord like on a daily basis? I complain about it every day. I don't know why they do that. Can't I just have a link? It's like the link to my channel doesn't change every day for YouTube. So why does the link to the Discord change constantly? I have no idea. Seems like a flaw, right? If I built a website and put a link to my Discord or something, a little button you click, would I have to go update that like every day, or would I have to have like an Oracle grab that on a daily basis and put it there? I don't know, but it doesn't seem good. So anyways, Inso is only a $46.3 million market cap. I updated it, by the way, so if you want to join the Discord, you could do that now. Philly, I'm up north of the border. Okay. So where are we at here? We are looking for the website of this Inso. I gotta say that I don't love the layout of Crypto Rank. The more I use it, the more I kind of know where stuff is. When I first started using it, I was really lost. So if you feel lost using something, even like CoinGecko, if you don't know it well, just know you're not alone. But I really don't like the way Crypto Rank is set up. So blockchain shortcut to build your next idea. Okay, so we did go over this yesterday. I actually thought it was really interesting. I'm going to write it down. For like 2 days, I didn't take notes, and then I keep going back to like remember like what was that project. I was actually thinking about this project that you can build stuff on. Because I think I'm going to build just like a quick crypto IQ. People have seen those quizzes, right, that go around on social media. A lot of them are stupid, to be honest with you. That's my personal opinion. A lot of them are dumb. They're just like, what's your love language? And it's like, okay. I don't know if the quiz is really going to help you with that, but you could waste a lot of time doing those different types of quizzes. Anyways, I want to do one on crypto IQ, right? And it's really just going to be a way to kind of call to action, as they would call it, to come to the channel. But I was wondering if maybe this project could help me do that, right? And it says you can launch apps and all kinds of cool stuff. I do love the idea of what they call, well, let's see. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is. So some things will build what they call toolkits, and they're usually for developers. And I don't know if that's the same thing as when they build like a program for people who are maybe not as code savvy to come in and build stuff without actually knowing how to code, right? That feels very much like what they're talking about here. So this project is all about being able to build apps, right? Different shortcuts, build your own dashboards, ideas, tools, all that kind of stuff. So that's what Inso is. And a big part of this channel, I really feel like, is me making sure you know what projects are. And I used to say a lot, a lot of people have projects in their portfolios and they don't know the tokenomics of the projects. They don't know what the project does, and if you really grilled them about it, they probably have no idea why they're invested in it. And then they wonder why the markets take off and stuff, and a lot of things they invest in don't go nowhere. You don't even know what they are. You don't even know why they would move. Not trying, maybe it sounds a little bit like tough love, not trying to be that way, and I'm not a know-it-all when it comes to stuff to invest in, but it's definitely worth thinking about. All right. I think it's pronounced say. And it probably is pronounced say. Who cared anyways? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there is a lot of things in crypto that I probably say wrong. Who knows? And again, I think the word is like originally from another country. So, like Sui. And I think a lot of people called Sui Sui for a long time before. I don't know if we all agreed on it or somebody came out and said, hey, everybody's saying it wrong. So it could be say, could be sigh. I don't know. Anyways, this is Whitebridge. Whitebridge we've seen trending. Is this thing going to pump hard? I have absolutely no idea, but it looks like it's pumping. This is on this is the 1 minute. Okay. The 1 minute can be deceiving. This is on the 1 hour. And I mean, if you know a flag or a falling wedge or whatever you want to call it, that's kind of what that looks like. Not a TA channel. Absolutely, definitely not. And I'm not even being sarcastic about that. This is not a TA channel. What are we doing? What? Why does it default to a blue color, right? Anyways, that's what I got there. It's only got $13.4 million in market cap. So I would say if this thing has connections to, I'm gonna look at it on CoinGecko where I know it a little better. If this thing has connections to say like BNB and Binance, it might be worth looking at. Right. Got the right thing. A lot of times there could be, okay, WBI. A lot of times there can be a lot of projects that have very similar stuff. Let me write this one down. Yeah, very small market cap. Does have a Binance Smart Chain contract and nothing else. It's AI, and it has the Binance Alpha Spotlight. I don't know. I would, if this thing right now had a like $1 or $2 or even $10 million or million supply, max supply, I'd be really interested in it. So, but here's the quicker. Woo, here's the kicker. My sinuses being stuffed is really messing with me talking. I said that a lot yesterday. 189.6 million, right? So although there is a billion in max supply, you can almost disregard that at this current moment because it only has 189.6 in the circulating supply. And as far as the price per unit goes, it doesn't really matter what the max supply is. It only matters how much is coming out. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky because if they double the circulating supply tomorrow or this week or whatever, soon, let's say they double it soon, then your price per unit is going to dilute by 50%. Now, most projects that come out don't do stuff like that because that would be kind of crazy. And it would hurt people, you know. People would see their portfolio or the money they put in drop by 50% overnight. And then what do you think they're going to think about your project? So most of these projects are smart enough not to do stuff like that. I really like, especially with meme coins, right? Not that I love meme coins, but I like when they come out fully vested. You have a billion tokens and a billion tokens in the circulating supply. They're fully vested from day one. They do like a fair launch. And that really gives me good vibes about a project when they do stuff like that. And obviously there's reasons why they don't do stuff like that. What do we got going on in the chat? A toolkit is something that devs create in order to make life easier for others to use programs and such. Yeah, Lindsay Lins, I've heard you say that your career is software before, which I think is really cool. That's why I'm glad that you're here. She is my coworker. To be honest, she knows what a toolkit is too. Yeah, exactly. And I definitely know that toolkits has a lot to do with developing and stuff, but sometimes they have like, maybe you can fill me in. Sometimes they have like another word or something for it where it's like, it's not a toolkit. It's built a little bit more for everyday people to use. And it's like almost like a program that you can use to build things, even though like you're not a developer and you don't understand a lot of the code and stuff like that. Basically, it's been developed for people who are not developers. And I've seen a lot of different websites and stuff talk about they have that kind of program and you should come build. Like they want to make it easy for regular people to build stuff. And they used a term for it and I can't remember what it was. Anyways, Whitebridge is AI. Let's go to their website. Whitebridge is certainly one that I would be taking a look at. And we went over this quite a bit the other day. Matter of fact, when we were going over this, we even talked about Pancake Pad, which is like, it's kind of like, I guess, Binance Alpha Pad, but for Pancake. So Lindsay says, yes, it basically builds itself kind of like how Ruby on Rails works. Okay, you're totally right. Well, thank you for filling me in there and let me know that I wasn't just making up nonsense. Because it can happen. You can false remember stuff, right? So it says incubated by ChainGPT. So this is not ChatGPT, but ChainGPT. It says AI agents for people, data, intelligence, and DePIN, which is infrastructure, decentralized infrastructure. So BNB Chain, YZI Labs. So we have a lot of connections here, right? So I get the feeling that it's possible that this coin could be very much another BNB coin. And at this current moment, I would kind of feel like we're early on this one. You know, hint, hint. So I personally feel like I would buy some of this coin because this coin, one, looks like it's in a beautiful falling bull flag, wedge, whatever you want to call it. And that's why my TA is not as good as it probably could be. And so it looks like it's going to break out. It looks like it's already breaking out. But anyways, only had less than $14 million in market cap. It's connected to YZ Labs, which used to be called Binance Labs. It is built, it's on Binance Alpha. It's literally, on Cake Pad, which is like a launch pad for Cake. We looked at this yesterday. Yesterday this was a link, and today it's not a link, so that's interesting. It's really interesting. Yesterday I could click here and this was an actual link, and today it's not a link. So let's see if we can go to PancakeSwap. Check this out. So as far as I know, that PancakeSwap now has like a launch pad, and that launch pad is newish. Cake Pad. Here we go. We'll go through it the organic way, right? Where to buy? Yes, we are going to get to that. So I don't know if you could buy it yet, just anywhere. I think it was almost like in a pre-sales. But okay, so Cake Pad has ended. And the way Cake Pad works is that you would commit some of your tokens, kind of like a pre-sale. And then when they settle out, they will give you the equivalent of the WBI, the White Bridge, that you would get for the amount of cake that you put in. You're basically buying it through a weird mechanism, right? And this is a launch pad. This is how projects get launched. Let's see what else we can pull up. They have an app too, right? So this is the actual app. It says hire agents. It looks pretty cool. I like the way that it's built out. They got some giveaways running. They have their roadmap up front. The 2025 quarter 3 roadmap is completely launched, it says. And then you have two things checked off here for the quarter 4, which is the Trust Wallet partnership. Trust Wallet's a pretty big wallet, and the Binance Wallet partnership. Then you have the token launch, which looks like they just haven't updated yet, because if CakePad is done with the pre-launch, right? So maybe it's launched now. I don't exactly know, but we are tracking it, I believe. Yeah, if we have a chart, that means there is a token, which means it's being tracked. So I would consider that to be launched, right? But our first thing here is today. So this thing really launched today, which means we were on it. We were talking about this yesterday in yesterday's show. This is kind of me just giving testimony to this show and what we do for the first hour here as we roll into 9 o'clock, and we've completed the first hour of the show. We talk about what's trending. Why do we do it? This is why. I think this might be a gem. I'd really like to buy some. Now, to answer Blues Guy question here, where to buy, you come down to markets. And you could do this on either CoinGecko or CryptoRank or Market Cap. Wherever you are, you could probably find this stuff. So the most obvious is probably going to be decentralized WBAI. But Mexi Global, I love Mexi Global. I know a lot of people have issues with getting accounts with it if you're in America. That can be really annoying. It's why I recommend the Palau ID. And I do have a link to the Palau ID. They give me like points or something if you sign up. I have absolutely no idea. It costs me about $250 a year, $200 for the digital residence ID. You are a digital resident of Palau, meaning I can KYC. Palau is a country. It's a little island country. I can KYC and actually use exchanges like KuCoin, Mexi Global, and stuff, and I don't have to worry as much. Now, I will say that some of those exchanges seem like they're not as hip to a digital residence ID as they should be, because when you KYC, sometimes they seem a little confused and they don't really understand what's going on. That can be a little bit annoying, but you do want to have it in your back pocket, I believe. Or I personally have it in my back pocket just in case I have to argue with them about them giving me my money, right? I want to have at least some kind of chips, right? Anyone join the Cake Pad says Bitcoin 3000. I didn't. I wish I did, but I didn't. It is so hard to be on top of all these things when I have a lot of other stuff to do. As soon as we get monetized and this money comes in, and not looking for a lot, maybe one sponsorship or something like that, then I can really cut a couple other responsibilities out of my life, and I will be super dialed in. Don't get me wrong, I'm dialed in right now, but I will be extra dialed in. I'll pretty much do nothing else, which is kind of a dream of mine. So Gate.io, or Gate, I think it used to be Gate.io. I don't think it's a different exchange. KuCoin's pretty awesome. Most people understand that you could use a VPN. Not recommending it. I'm not recommending it, but you can use a VPN to get into a lot of these exchanges and make an account. Just don't forget to turn your VPN on before you log in again. Mexi Global doesn't give me any trouble with that. Why? I don't know. Is it because I'm under Lifer's link? And another thing that's really awesome is being connected to Lifer as a Lifer, and being able, you can email them, and they are very close with a lot of these exchanges like Weeks and Mexi. And so if you have an issue, they lock up your money. He can usually sort that out as long as you didn't do something wrong, right? As long as you didn't do something you weren't supposed to. VPN, exactly. And where are we at? So he asked if anybody joined CakePad. I didn't. It's over now as far as that goes. But if you like Binance Alpha and you're not really able to have all that because you're in America, CakePad is BNB chain, right? They're very interconnected. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's a really good place to keep an eye on coins. Maybe not even if you can't get into it because you don't know how to use it, but keep an eye on what those coins are. I'm thinking this White Bridge might do some things, right? But there's no guarantee. Just because CoAI did a bunch of stuff doesn't mean White Bridge is going to. But there is the AI similarity, right? Is there an effect on taxes? Just a yes or no could be appropriate. I'm not exactly sure, Lindsay Linz. You still have to pay your taxes in your respective country, from what I read on the Palau ID website. Because if they would have made it so you didn't have to pay taxes on it, like somebody in the big hierarchies, I'm sure would have shut it down, and you wouldn't even be able to do it, right? Wait, we need to chat about Palau in the chat. I need more details, bro. Well, first, I went over it a little bit. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Blues Guy, you do have my number, so if there's anything you don't understand, you can always hit me up privately. But it's pretty simple. It's a digital residence ID for Palau, and you can go to the website. I have a link in the description. Hopefully they haven't changed my link there, but it'll at least get you to the website. I'm in Binance Alpha, and it is the airdrop vanished in seconds. Okay, he says I'm in Binance Alpha, and it is a shit. Or it is shit. The airdrop vanished in seconds. I kind of get what you're putting down, Bitcoin 3000, but I'm not 100% sure what you're saying. Maybe you could clarify that for us a little bit. Guys, I have not paid nor did my income taxes in 5 years. I found out the way around. I ain't giving no money to the crooked gov. Oops, I should have not said that. Right? Well, to each their own. To each their own. You're also in another country. I have no idea how Canada runs, right? I'm in America. I said we're in America like everybody here is in America. They're definitely not. I'm in America. And, I've run multiple companies and stuff like that. So for me, I pay my taxes for sure because I don't want no headache. I don't want to be audited. That sounds like a headache, and I'm not making bajillions of dollars a year. So there's no reason to cut those corners, right? I don't like the government says trade intuition. I don't think anybody does, right? But is it the government or is it the IRS? Or is it Federal Reserve? Like, is it just the government that's doing it to us, or is it other people? One thing that the state I'm in and several other states, they just started writing legislation for removing property tax. I live in probably, when it comes to like the actual state laws and stuff like that, I live in probably one of the best states in America. I definitely feel that. Yeah, you mean China? Yeah, exactly. I think most people are privy to the fact that China owns most of Canada. I remember when they had all these rumors about there were Chinese troops in Canada and stuff, and people were wigging out bad here in America. Let's get this bread. Orhan in the building says good day. What's up, Orhan? I'm so glad that you're here. We missed you yesterday. Not having a bot in the chat can be really depressing. It's the IRS. Yeah, exactly, says El Cheeto. Yeah, exactly. The dark side, the Darth Vader. Facts, says Torch Nation. appreciate everybody chiming in on that. So anyways, I'm hovering on this project for a minute because I think I'm going to buy some of this. How much I'm going to buy, I don't really know, but I'm going to buy something because this thing looks like it could bang. And I miss Co-AI. We talked about Co-AI. I want to say we talked about it before the token was even launched. I could be wrong. Could be wrong about that, right? But we have our ear to the streets when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And this thing is just getting rolled out. And I want a piece. I want a piece of it. 14 million market cap. It'll probably be up by the time we end the stream. I wouldn't be surprised. Not a guarantee by any means, but I wouldn't be surprised. Should have left it up on CoinGecko. Anyways, if I was going to get it, I'd just buy it right on PancakeSwap, honestly. How many people here, put a 333 in the chat if you've never used MetaMask, if you've never used a Web3 wallet to purchase anything from a decentralized exchange. So I'm just curious. And then put like a, I don't know, Lifer does this all the time. I don't know what the code words are. Put like a 555 if you have bought things with MetaMask. Like if you've gone to PancakeSwap or Uniswap and bought a token, right? The troops you speak about were really up north ready to take over. Oh, wow. Hey, what happened? What stopped them, right? Probably America. Lindsay Lynn says 333, not sure. Torch Nation says 333. Exactly. And this is another crypto IQ kind of moment to linger on and talk about for a second is a lot of people talk about crypto. They even talk about Web3, which was actually a term that was coined by Polkadot, actually, or the founder of Polkadot, the project, and the founder, whatever. They actually termed that term Web3. Anyways, where was I going with that? 555. I used some swaps, Monero back in the day. Exactly. Oh, what I was going to say is a lot of people talk about cryptocurrency, and because it has the word currency in it, they think it's all money. And they, you know, especially back in the day when I first got into it, you'd have older people all the time be like, I don't understand why we need all these different currencies. Like we have the US dollar, I mean, you have different currencies from different countries around the world. Like why in the world do I need 30,000 different currencies? It's because they're not currencies alone, right? Each one of them has their own currency, right? Like they have a price per unit of their, that's not the best way to say it. They have like a built-in currency for their project, right? The same way a stock has a price, right? So it's really no different than stocks in a lot of ways if you just want to simplify it, right? Make it simple to understand for maybe somebody who's over the age of 50 or 55, 60, like you want to make it easy for them to understand. Just like stocks, the cryptocurrencies are like new startup companies. Some of them fail, some of them are complete rug pulls, right? But my point was a lot of people don't understand the technology behind it, and they don't understand that like Web3 is a real thing and you can have a MetaMask wallet or a lot of other different wallets. MetaMask is really nice because it has a lot of other chains built into it, right? So you could just go to MetaMask and add BNB, you know, Smart Chain, Binance Smart Chain, BCS or BSC, sorry. And then you're off to the races. You know, you can immediately go put some money in your Ethereum. You could bridge it over to BNB and you could go do whatever you want to do on Binance Smart Chain. And then you could add all kinds of different chains and it all lives inside of one wallet. It's very useful. I believe it's actually owned by JP Morgan though. So I don't know how decentralized it is, but it's super useful when it comes to using. So if you want to quickly get onto Cake, the biggest hang up of getting something on PancakeSwap is getting BNB into your wallet. And I'll leave it there. We can go more back into that. It says too many wallies. Yeah, I feel you, Reliable J. I know Reliable J is an OG when it comes to all this stuff. So I'm right there with you. I have way too many wallets, right? This is exactly what I was describing to AP Young. Yes, exactly. You have to manually claim the airdrop. Okay, so this is Bitcoin 3000. He's kind of clarifying what he was saying earlier. You have to manually claim the airdrop, and you need to be in front of the PC in the exact minute. Example, if the airdrop starts at 8 UTC, time at 8:05 minutes, no more tokens to claim. So what you're saying, I believe, is that there is like a set amount of tokens that are free airdrop, and if you're not one of the first people there, you're not getting it, right? It's like the bread line in a very impoverished, you know, country, city, town, whatever. It doesn't really matter for the analogy. And if you're not there first, you might not get no bread. Don't know where that analogy came from. So anyways, WBAI is one that I'm really looking at. And I this is a little bit, a little bit unrelated here. Let me get rid of this. We don't need that. I kind of would like to pull up CoAI and see how many similarities we can find between the two projects. I think that would be fun. The wallet graveyard of seedless seeds. Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. So Torch Nation says, any thoughts on BWA? I'm pretty sure I know what project that is. We've been over it. It's a good analogy. Thank you very much, Lindsay. I appreciate that. I will go over that in just a second, Torch Nation. I just want to do this real quick, right? And I want to pull them up on the same place here. Pretty much done with crypto rank, right? The second, can always pull it back up. What am I doing? WBAI. Whoop, AI. That one hand typing gets me all the time. If I'm typing with two hands, I'm good. Deadly. Type with one hand and I don't know what I'm doing. All right. Let's go down to markets and see if it says the same stuff. So KSEX, one that Lifer has been talking about a lot. So I see that on there. I do notice when it comes to markets to buy stuff, CoinGecko will have a lot more places than, say, crypto rank. I don't know why that was so hard to get out. And they have some preset filters up here too, right? So you can go to perpetuals if you're looking for where you can trade it perpetually. Futures. There's no futures. There is perpetuals. And of course you want spot, and then you can toggle centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange. So that can help you get quickly the information you need if you want to buy something, right? Anyways, let's go down to categories right here. And there's not a lot of categories. The categories are artificial intelligence, AI, and Binance Alpha Spotlight. That is for Whitebridge. What do we have? Artificial intelligence, Binance Alpha Spotlight, and then you have AI applications and AI framework. Here's another similarity. Binance Smart Chain. Whitebridge, Binance Smart Chain, and no other contracts, right? You don't see Ethereum in there. You don't see Arbitrum in there or any other networks, right? So I think those are quite a few similarities, right? So it's Chain Opera AI, and I'm so sure we went over this thing before it ever even started moving. Collaborative intelligence of AI agent network, co-created and co-owned by the community. And if I would have done my due diligence and took notes like I'm supposed to, keeps me accountable to knowing what's going on, I would know if I had gone over it or not, right? So what do we got? Appreciate you, no problem. Torch in the house, exactly. Or in the hand, right? Torch in the hand. It says A. All right. So I just wanted to compare those because I feel like there's a lot of comparisons there, right? It's the ecosystem of BNB. It is AI. It is Binance Alpha Spotlight. When I see those kind of similarities in the same, not ecosystem, in the same environment of the market, it tells me you might see something pop, right? Because if a lot of people already made money in this, they might move to the next one, right? That's why when this thing pumped so hard and it came all the way back down, it was really surprised to see it get another pop, because a lot of times the big people already took their profits up here at the high spike. You know, it's up 4,000. Think about this. There's this huge spike and it pulled down. There's where it is right now. It's up 4,293%. What do you think it was up when it was up here? And it says $34. I know it was like $42. I don't know why they nerfed it. But anyways, it was a lot of percentage that you were up. So maybe they might start rolling into the next one, right? I don't know. It's worth a thought. Anyways, let's move on. And he wanted to know about VWA. Isn't this like the Vanguard one or whatever? Oh, no. Wait. VWA. This is pulling up V-Wave, which is something different. Let's go to Crypto Rank. Because I'm pretty sure it's in the trending over here on Crypto Rank. And it's like that Vanguard coin, right? And if I'm not mistaken, Vanguard... Yeah, there it was. There it was. Yep. If I'm not mistaken, Vanguard is like a stock exchange kind of thing. It's kind of like... and I'm not huge a stock person at all, right? I think I own like $3 worth of Vanguard from like a long ass time ago. What would you call it? It's not like the S&P 500 necessarily, but it's a collection of different stocks that they own in a portfolio, and you're directly getting exposure to all of those different things by owning a part of their portfolio. I think I said that right. Yeah, but here's the thing. Anybody can make a meme coin. Do we know this to have direct correlations to the actual Vanguard, right? And here's what makes me wonder about it is, do you think Vanguard, and Vanguard again is huge, like money wise in the stock market, they have a lot of money. You think they came over here and launched a token on Solana and didn't put any money in it? Let it have an 8.5 million market cap? And maybe they did. I don't want to say that they didn't do that. They might. This thing might be about to bang as they pump money into it. Right? They do that. They buy a bunch of it, very little. They pump it up, and then they sell off their bags at the top of it while everybody's excited to retail. I wouldn't put them past them. That's exactly how people like Vanguard and the people in the stock world operate, as far as I understand, right? I'm not making accusations. That's just what I understand to be true about the games that are played in the stock market. All right, so this is why I love the community, right? He says, yes, they linked it to their X and said it's backed by Ripple. They are generally safer than just purchasing a single stock, right? In that sector, I'm an old head from the stock market trading, learning crypto now. Oh, that's cool. I love that you bring that insight here. And I mean, that's just such a testament to how important it is to have a community, right? Because I was sitting at home doing this stuff by myself, and I would have got no feedback from anybody. I would have had nobody to talk to this about. And so you guys dropping those comments is really testimony and powerful. And a Reliable J sounds about right. Exactly. So if this is legitimate and it's connected to Vanguard and it's sitting under a $10 million market cap, well, what do you think that tells you? But what's the point of it? Are they going to do they're basically going to do the exact same thing, right? They're going to come in and buy a portfolio, a bunch of different coins, and then maybe you can get access to it. But what's the deal? They're not buying yet. They haven't started buying. Because how do you have an $8.5 million market cap? So tokenizing real world assets on XRP. So somebody already made the connection here to Ripple. That's XRP for you. Vanguard BlackRock uses to be the biggest manipulators. Have they turned good? Well, you could go into a lot of conspiracy about that. Have a lot of people turn good? Are they just playing good because, Law and Order is now popular again? I have no idea. Nobody knows 100% for sure, but they're worth speculating on. We talked a lot yesterday about being able to hold a thought without having to buy or adopt it into your belief system, just to hear it, understand it, know the narrative, know who believes in it and who doesn't, and then move on from there. Use it as a data set versus a belief system. It's a good way of saying it, I'm pretty sure. I'm interested in getting in now. How do I do that? Okay, Torch Nation, that's a very important question. Now, one thing as far as crypto IQ goes, and I want to teach you, is whether you're on CryptoRank or you're on CoinGecko, and I'm sure it's probably the same on CoinMarketCap, although I don't use that as much, scroll all the way to the bottom. When you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see something that says markets, right? And markets is literally the markets where you could buy it. Now, I like it a little bit more on here. This is a different coin, right? But here you are. And it doesn't look like this coin is on CoinGecko. CryptoRank a lot of times does have certain coins that CoinGecko is not tracking. That's why we use this together and not one or the other, right? Anyways, my point is, looks like you can get this on Meteora, which is a decentralized exchange, right? On Solana, and Gate, which would be a centralized exchange. If it was me, I'd go get it off of Meteora, and I'd probably go to... Let's see. I'm not logged in on my Soulflare wallet. Anyways, I need to write this down because I agree with you. This thing looks hot. And, all the chat that we had about, say, a 4-year cycle, not a 4-year cycle, all this different stuff. At the end of the day, I have to constantly remind myself I am bullish on crypto. I mean, do you think Vanguard is hopping into real world assets, and they think that this is all a bunch of trash that's going to go nowhere? I don't think so. Let's go to X actually real quick and pull it up. And that goes for a lot of different stuff, right? You think big institutions are buying Bitcoin because they think it's going to go into a bear market. If they thought it was going to go into a bear market, and this might be a great argument for us not having a 4-year cycle or a heavy bear market, right? And sometimes they don't buy in when it goes down, they're going to buy more, and they're just going to keep buying, and they're going to own huge parts of the supply, and they're playing a very different game than your average retail, right? So VWA is live, so it's live now. That was October 1st. It's the 15th today. The world's largest asset manager is officially moving on chain. This is the institutional green light for RWAs at the moment. VWA was built for. So having these people come in is a big deal. Just in 13.4 trillion, BlackRock CEO, and they're just touting the amount of money in BlackRock, right? It's not like they're going to put 13 trillion into this project. It's a little misleading. Most people don't catch that. Fink says they are developing their own technology for tokenization of assets. Absolutely they are. And they said, where did it say that it was built on Ripple? Actually, it says it right on their main website, Asset on XRP. So there's a lot of angles here. I mean, what are the odds that they're going to build on XRP? XRP token needs to be used for the actual XRPL ledger. That is the blockchain is XRPL. And XRP is not going to get an increase in price. So those are all good things to think about. So you can join the wait list for their app there. And I've taken a lot of shots on some XRP projects. Not a ton of money or anything like that, but this looks like the most legitimate XRP project I've seen so far. Big connections, and with these big connections, how do they have such a small market cap? Is this a once in a crypto opportunity? I like that. Once in a crypto opportunity right there, right? And so the Finkster LOL, yeah, exactly. In their bio, they had it, and now they just at Ripple. Okay, nice. Fink was on 60 Minutes on Sunday. So there you go. Are you paying attention? I don't know, man. This thing's got an $8.5 million market cap. That doesn't seem right. Seems like it might not stay that way for very long. Let me put a little star next to these two here. I know to go back and buy a little bit of it. And so, yeah, we'll see what happens. And which one am I more bullish on between this VWA and the WBAI? In the short term, I'm going to have to say WBAI. Even though it sounds silly in the long term, I'm going to have to go with this Vanguard, though, right? All right, where else were we? And we are an hour and a half into this. We haven't even got the top gainers, top losers. There is so much to dig into here. We are going to segue, though, for like a half a second here, into the SEI ecosystem. Let's go to categories. Oh, okay. Sorry. Torch Nation, I guess I got ahead of myself there. My apologies. So let's back it up a minute because I don't want to leave Torch Nation hanging at all here. So we are on Crypto Rank, and it says the best place to buy it is Monero, right? Sorry, I'm no longer on it anymore. All over the place. And look, it's like it's trending. People are trending this thing. This thing is probably going to pump in the next couple of days, especially if you see like any recovery. So it has a Solana contract address, which is kind of confusing a little bit because it should probably have an XRPL contract address as well. Generally, when something is built on a network, it has the contract address of that network, but I digress. Maybe they're going to add that at another point. If they put a Solana contract because they thought that it was easier for people to get into and use and more people could buy it and understood how to buy it on Solana, they were 1000% right, in my opinion. Yeah, can I demonstrate? It gets a little weird when it comes to your wallets and stuff because a lot of times when I bring up wallets, it doesn't show it on the stream. And when I try to make it show it on the stream, sometimes it won't show it on the stream. That gets really weird. Maybe I could figure that out. That, and I have to have funds in it in order to do that. So Torch Nation, do you have like a Solana wallet of any kind? If not, I really like Solflare, which is a Chrome extension. MetaMask, as far as I know, doesn't have Solana for some reason. They might have fixed that by now. But the easiest thing to do is to grab you a Solflare wallet as an extension from the Google Chrome store. So here, I can at least do this part for you, right? You go to Google Chrome. Hopefully you use Google Chrome. If not, you might need to download it. You go to where they have these 9 little dots, says Google Apps. And you're going to go down, and I always have to remember how to do this every single time. You see this Chrome Web Store. You click that. It'll bring you in here. It says search extension. You're going to type in Solflare. Solflare wallet. And here you go. I don't really see a lot of copycats or anything. Then you click on this and you'll install it. And it'll give you a seed phrase. You're going to want to write your seed phrase down, all of that fun stuff. You're going to want to know the seed phrase to your wallet. And then in that wallet, you should be able to copy and paste this contract address. We just click that little button. And then you should be able to buy it right inside of the Solflare wallet. Now, if you're not, you can always just connect your Solflare wallet to Meteora, or what is it called? Meteora, sorry. Should be able to come to Meteora. Okay, it'd be cool if it just took me to the website, right? It's obviously what I wanted. And then you go to up here in the right-hand corner, you go to Connect Wallet, and then you pick Solflare. And you can use Backpack, Phantom, Solflare, Coinbase Wallet, even though pretty sure Coinbase had shut down their the separate app, and now it's all built into Coinbase. So I don't know how that works or not. I really highly recommend Solflare. If you're doing it on your phone, maybe Jupiter Mobile might be a better option. And then when you get into this, you will go to, and I actually haven't used Meteora a lot, but they're all relatively the same. You're going to search it somewhere in here, like VWA. Probably take a minute to come up. Yep, VWA Sol. These are different pools, if you're wondering why there's multiple. And where you at? Probably pick the one with the most liquidity, right? Should be somewhere that says swap. Like I said, I've never used this one. I'm familiar with quite a few other ones. I'm not exactly familiar with this one. So these are different pools. That's like if you want to be kind of a market maker with it, which I don't. Should have a swap somewhere where I can just buy this. If anything, it's a little confusing. It might just come up when you actually link a wallet, and because I don't have a wallet link, maybe it's not coming up. Although PancakeSwap's not like that. Yeah, I don't particularly love how this is set up here. So this is all about liquidity pools. I just want to actually buy some though. And this is why we went to it. Although it's taken a minute, this is why we went to it here. All right, let's see. Torch Nation says this is Elena, Serenity Sister. Oh, okay, yeah. I probably should have known that. I'm sorry. Do have a lot of people come through. It says I reached out today. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed that. I'll have to look at my phone and reach back out to you. So KuCoin is the easiest, as you can buy it. Yeah, KuCoin is probably the most simple way to buy it, right? MetaMask does allow Solana now. Okay, well that's good to know. And remember to smash the like button. It's the easiest way. Trade intuition. Okay, let me do this. Let me see if I can log into this. Yes, continue. All right. So we'll go to Connect Wallet. I'll choose Solflare. We'll connect to Meteora. All right. Now I'm connected, but how do I buy? Usually there's a thing that says swap and it's right up front and you just click swap, right? So far, I am not liking this exchange at all. Because this is like pools, like if you want to get into pools. Okay, so you do it through Jupiter, I guess, huh? So we want to swap here. And I guess I have some. Usually it's a button that's like max, right? I probably don't have enough SOL in here to even cover the fees, to be honest with you. Yeah, insufficient funds. I don't know why it says I have. Oh, because it's 0.3, right? Minimum $15 for gasless. Okay, I only have like $5 of SOL in here. Let's see if it'll let me buy. Yeah, it's not gonna work because I need to go lower here. So let's do like 2.7. And you guys can't see the pop-ups, but I approved it. All right, so I bought like $4 worth of this. And if I pull up my Solflare wallet, come on. Should be a quick way to do this. I always do this, and then the one time I want to do it, there we go. Oh, nope, that just took me to the extension. I apologize if I'm taking too long on this. I probably should have been past it. So you should have seen me do the little swap there. You saw how I even had to adjust it because I had to leave a little bit of room for the fee in Solana, right? And yeah, it was a random tutorial, but I hope that it really helped you guys. I'm trying to figure out why I can't just... Man, I can't read. All the time I accidentally open my wallet in the browser, and the one time that I want to do it, there it is. Okay, so now you can see all the stupid coins that I hold here, like Moneki, which has done nothing. Metaplex as the only one that's been doing well at all. And here we go. VWA. I own $5.25 of it. Duck AI. You know, a lot of these things. This account used to be worth like $2,000 back when AI agents were popping, and now it's worth like $300. So that's sad, but it's whatever. It comes with the territory. A lot of AI agents could come back, but it probably won't be a lot of these, right? And then of course there's plenty of coins that were probably airdropped to me that I never actually bought. All right, and we will move along at that point. I have not been looking at the chat. So yeah, Torch Nation, I hope that helped you. It is a Solflare wallet, which is a Google Chrome extension. I like that Archangel Tron now, Solana is allowed. El Cheeto says, These show how the channel grow. Yep, thank you very much, Trade Intuition. All right, and now we will hop into SEI's ecosystem. So first and foremost, I was just talking about how in an ecosystem, liquidity is king, right? So the first thing you're going to see here are stablecoins, USDC, and a wrapped form of Bitcoin. Now, SEI really wants to be the biggest blockchain for trading and traders and stuff. I assume that means they would be very much integrated into a lot of these decentralized exchanges, although I haven't seen a lot about that. You have USDT0, which I'm not sure whose stablecoin that is, but it's got like $7.4 billion in it, right? So first let's go to SEI, like their actual website, their tokenomics. Let's look at SEI, the token itself, right? Because it's no Bitcoin. It's not huge like Bitcoin is. It has a $1.3 billion in market cap. 10 billion max supply, but only 6.2 billion in circulating supply. So it is over 50% vested. But when you're talking about billions of tokens, there are plenty of tokens to come out, right? And what categories do we have here? We have quite a few categories. It is an L1. It is parallelized. It's That's a fun word to say. EVM, of Ethereum Virtual Machine. And then you have it in many portfolios, including Coinbase Ventures and Delphi, Circle, which Circle is who owns USDC as a stable coin, which is the second, I think, if not the first, biggest stable coin in usage or out there. And, of course, it's DeFi. So let's go to their website here. Let me close anything that I don't need to have up. And that's cool because I actually bought some Meteora, although I am definitely going to buy some more of that. Or not Meteora, sorry. I bought some of the VWA. And I probably could have bought, well, maybe not because that's BNB. But it's the same idea on PancakeSwap. It's almost identical, and I guarantee you it would probably be easier to figure out on PancakeSwap to buy the WBAI. Also, did you notice that although we went to Meteora seems like they were much more focused on liquidity pools. That's where you provide liquidity in a pool with a pair, two tokens, right? Paired together, usually 50%, 50% and 50%, right? And then you earn some kind of reward for providing liquidity, an APY or an APR, whatever. Where the swap itself was through Jupiter. So maybe you'd have an easier time just going to Jupiter and doing the swap, right? That's what I was really getting at. Trade Tuition says he's got to run. I think it's been an hour. It's probably been over an hour. I like Button Smash. Going to support other streamers. We'll try to come back if you're still live. Great show. Loving the info. Thank you very much, Trade Intuition. I'm not sure what your mission is about going to everybody's live stream and supporting them, but I love it, man. Thank you very much for coming through. I greatly appreciate it. All right. So now we're talking about SEI, right? And one thing I want to do is, let me pull this up in a separate tab here. Like I said, I have a new webcam and I was messing around with it a bunch. And I didn't have everything completely pulled up for the live stream. All right, I'll give that a minute to do its thing. And we pulled up their website. So, again, we also talk a lot about... That's hilarious. It says, don't smash the like button. Press it gently so you can press it tomorrow. My French humor. There we go. Underground Crypto, I dig your shirt, friend. Thank you very much. It's funny. I wore this shirt like 2 months ago, and it didn't fit. Now it fits great. Makes sense that market maker would favor Solana network, especially post crash. Orhan always coming in with some alpha. He's got all the insider information. Since it's high tick and bot defense, very easy to farm retail with high frequency trading. There you go. Yet another nice shirt today, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Orphan says tinfoil. Exactly. The fastest layer 1 EVM blockchain. How many websites do we have to go to that claim that they are the fastest? Do they update this? I don't know. I like this little like ball in the sand that keeps pulsing waves. It's pretty cool, right? Build high frequency apps that settle in 400 milliseconds. Process 10,000 transactions for as low as 5 cents. It's a pretty low cost for 10,000 transactions there. And who are they working with here? Coinbase, Circle, Multicoin Capital, and some other people. Jump. I don't know those ones. Orhan in the house. Nice to see you finally showed up. Sleepyhead. Hey, he's been here for a minute. Give him some credit. He probably hopped in like a half hour ago. So endless time, speed for endless innovation. So SEI's battle-tested EVM architecture enables robust security at scale, ideal for Web 2-like experiences, high-frequency trading, and reimagining what's possible on-chain. Read more about upcoming SEI Giga upgrade. So they're going to have another upgrade, and they're going to be even faster, right? That's what I'm pretty sure they're going to tell you. Now, don't you think it's interesting that we're going into Web 3? But you hear a lot of people talking about ideal for Web 2-like experiences. So the problem with Web 3 is it's more technical and it's more advanced, and the experience for the less educated people is a little bit more difficult, right? The barrier to entry technology-wise, it's like watching your grandfather when you were 10 years old fight his laptop computer, right? He just couldn't figure out the printer. I watched my grandfather one time smash a printer with a hammer and curse at it all the way, which was absolutely hilarious. Even at the time, it was hilarious. It's more hilarious now. But anyways, the experience is not like Web 2. So a lot of people are realizing that the success of a lot of this stuff, I don't know why is my camera framing out? What is going on? Anyways, the success of a lot of this stuff is based off of dang, what is going on? It's not catching up either. Hold on, I have a direct plug-in. Give me 1 second. I actually forgot to directly plug in from the router. Hopefully that clears up here. All right. Looks like it's caught up. I don't know what happened. Of course, once it caught up, that's when I went and did something else. Anyways, so a big problem with Web3 experience is it's different and also not as polished and easy as Web 2 was. So best way to fix old hardware is to give it a good smack. Exactly. Especially with a hammer. You'll make sure you never have to try to use it ever again. Breakthrough infrastructure, parallelized. I think I said that right. They are really trying to smack me with some hard words here. Runtime, right? Unique architecture designed to enhance scalability and developer flexibility. They got some pictures of code that I guess only Lindsay Lenz and her coworker know how to read. I don't. Well, I do actually a little bit, just tongue-in-cheek here. Build on the fastest EVM chain. And you got SEI. And that was pretty much it. Let's look at the ecosystem hub. So we get the general idea. Next generation apps on SEI. Is it plugged in? Have you smacked it? Yeah, right as we were talking about that. That's funny. I didn't even put that together totally. Discover flagship applications built on SEI. I think it is SEI. I think Blue Sky's right, but my stubbornness wants to just keep saying SEI. I like SEI better. Anyways, on SEI, showcasing the power and versatility of the network across multiple sectors, right? And here are applications that are not endorsed by SEI. Use them at your own discretion or risk. So if they're not endorsing them, why are they on their website? I mean, you gotta be a little bit fair, right? Why are they on their website if they don't endorse them? Are they not considering them partners? What is that? That's very interesting. And we have SEI research. This is bound to be endlessly sleep-worthy, right? I'm not 51 LOL despite my name, says El Cheeto. Okay. No shots fired. I didn't think you were 51, but so at first principles. I don't know why when I read the word principle, my mind immediately went to like a school infrastructure. I haven't been in school for a long time. At first principles approach to reimagining the EVM across all layers, storage, consensus, and execution. This research initiative, which includes contributions from thought leaders at SEI Labs, SEI Foundation, and broader industries, embraces open source principles following the same philosophy that guides SEI protocol code development. Is this like one of those things you read like a letter and like you read the whole letter and then you're just like, I have no idea what that was even trying to say to me. All right, so that's SEI. Now, as much as I wanted to talk about SEI, I really more wanted to talk about SEI ecosystem. 1.3 billion in its market cap. We covered that. Let's look at its max chart. Looks like it came out around August 14th, 2023. And it was as low as 10 cents. Pumped as high as, what, $1? And now it's up 22%, right? Amazing. And it came out at 17 cents, right? If they were counting from like this 10 cents, you'd be up 50% or a little more. I don't know why I felt like telling you that, but let's move on. I don't know why it's so hard to get it to go back. So there's going to be a lot of things here that are probably not fun to look at, like wrapped ETH. So I'm going to try to filter through that a little bit. Bedrock, BTC, Reservoir, Yi, Finance. So this one I do want to touch on, even though it is obviously very finance, because it is new and it is trending and it hasn't been out very long. It was out since yesterday. A long time. No, not a long time. Max supply 1 billion tokens, only 129 million for this Yi Finance, right? Crypto IQ gains time. Yeah. A lot of good stuff going on in the chat there. So yeah, Yi, whatever. Finance, it only has $61.2 million in its market cap, has a SEI contract address and a BNB smart contract address. We talked about a bunch of projects yesterday where, like, look, it is a project built on SEI and it has a SEI contract address front and foremost. We talked about a lot of things. It's weird. Zcash, its contract address is Near Protocol, which is weird. And Celestia, its contract address is secret, which is a privacy layer and not its own contract. It's very weird. Something there that I'm missing, I'm not understanding. And obviously this is lending and borrowing, cross-chain communication infrastructure, very tiny, under $100 million market cap, and very new. Why is that somewhat important? Well, I would say because it's a project in the SEI ecosystem that seems to be heating up. And SEI, even though it has like $1.3 billion in its market cap, not very big for a layer one like that, right? Could get much bigger very easily. All right, cool. What else do we have, though? I want to find some different stuff. So Dragon Swap. Is Dragon Swap one of the main swaps? Like, it was there for a second. What is the main swap on Cardano? A year ago, I could have told you it all verbatim, but now I can't really remember because I don't really use Cardano ecosystem. July 8th, 2025. So not that long ago. It only has $6.9 million in its market cap. I don't know if this is like the main swap for this ecosystem, but I would say that I didn't see any other swaps, right? Let's hop back here. We'll do it in a minute. I didn't see any other swaps with a higher market cap. For a lot of people who know or don't know, who are lifers or not lifers, most of us here are. Sam, from what I understand, made a lot of money with Cake, and that was one of the projects that really helped him get to where he, is today, is that he made a lot of money off of the Cake token. So if we start seeing a bunch of projects in the SEI ecosystem heat up, and those, how do you get in and out of them in a native token? It would be a swap, like Dragon Swap. I'm sure Dragon Swap, there it is, Dragon, I'm sure it has its own token. That might be worth looking at, right? And what is the price per token right now? It is 4 cents. I don't know if SEI is going to have that. A 4-year cycle would tell you don't got a lot of time. If we're done with 4-year cycles and we're just going to kind of have mini bears and bull cycles for the next, untold amount of time, SEI might have a really big pump. I don't know. But it's worth thinking about. Crypto Keep in the house says he's late. No big deal, brother. We're just kind of starting to get into what we were going to get into today, as we are 2 hours into the stream. And yeah, so let's go back to their website, right? So you have the Connect wallet. Let's see what kind of wallets they let you have. So MetaMask. I do need to add SEI to my MetaMask because I don't think I have it on there. Popular ones: Coinbase wallet, BitGet, OKX, SEI F, which is a native wallet, or Compass wallet. Interesting. And look, this is what I was talking about with Meteor, is the swap should be front and center, right? Immediately, right here. You hit this little button in the middle, it'll switch it. So if I wanted to use Dragon to get back into SEI, or vice versa. And like, say I had some SEI tokens in my wallet and I wanted to buy something that wasn't Dragon, right? I click where the little arrow is. And then I could literally, and this is what I recommend, paste the contract address. Because you could search it by name, but I would paste the contract address. I'd get the contract address from like their Twitter or something to really make sure I get the right token. There are lots of copycat tokens, and there are copycat tokens on different chains. So if you went right now to buy Dragon on PancakeSwap, I bet you there's somebody with a fake version of it that will steal your money. Says, I want to say VSpar wallet for Cardano, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't even know if you'd be right or not. Do you attend Crypto Lifer in the morning? I don't recall your name, friend. Lindsay, yeah, I actually saw El Cheeto there this morning. I believe I asked him that the first day he was in the chat. That is where we all hang out in the morning and on the weekends at like 8 p.m. And that's why this show on the weekends is at 10 p.m., but we already went over why I won't be here Saturday. I don't think there will be any problems with Sunday stream. Should be there 10 p.m. Sunday, but I will be short one stream this weekend. So what is Zenrock? Or Eternal Wallet? So many wallies. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'll be sure to wish you a good day next time. I changed from the Goonie to too much spam coming in. All right. What is Zenrock? It's got 4.6 million. And notice a lot of these projects are small. So why are we talking about SEI? Well, when I see one project start to pump and trend, makes me think that there might be a heating up of a ecosystem. I think SEI is pretty primed for a heat up. Kind of need an altcoin season to really get some of that stuff, so you got to keep that in mind. So you got to kind of use the data as it comes in and be positioned. Now, whatever this is, Rock also has a Solana contract address, and seems like it's mostly set up on Solana, right? And what is it? What's the category? It's a layer 1, which is really weird because it should have its own layer, but it doesn't. But it does have its own explorer. Right? So when it has its own explorer, like, it is a layer 1, but it's not, I don't know. How would you say it? It's not a, I literally don't know how you would go about saying it. It's a layer 1, but it doesn't have its own blockchain. It's like piggybacking off of another blockchain. I don't know. Very weird. Let's go to their website. Zenrock Foundation. The Zenrock Foundation provides governance, stewardship, and furthers the decentralized mission of Zenrock Protocol. BP Kohler says, hey all, love your channel. I don't comment much. Thanks for the content. Absolutely. And I think it's awesome that you dropped a comment when you might not normally be somebody to drop a comment. I hope that means you'll be commenting more. And the community here is super friendly. You know, they're already welcoming you in. We are a deep dive research crypto channel. But if you've been coming here, I guess you already know that, right? So we're talking about SEI. We're talking about the ecosystem of SEI. I've laid out why we're looking at it, because project is starting to get trendy, which was this Yi Finance. And how much did it pump? It's up 176%. It was up a little bit more than that. It was up like 200 or something percent, maybe more. And it's just come out. So why are they building on SEI? Do they know something? And I guess if it's SEI, then this is Yay, right? That would make a lot of sense. They just got rid of the S and put a Y. Good stuff going on in the comments there. So then we have Vertec. And it is decentralized exchange. Derivatives and perpetual. Very interesting. Only has 3.2 million in market cap. How long has this thing been out? It's been out a long time. Moving on. Has an Arbitrum first contract. I like to think that the first contract that shows is like where the project is mostly set up. What is Millie? That is definitely a meme. I feel like I've seen it before. Max chart survey says March 4th, 2024. So not real recent, but not super old either. It's had some little pumps though since then. Only $2.5 million in market cap, so nothing extraordinary. It is on the SEI network. And it looks like just the SEI network. We would call that an ecosystem native coin. Let's go to their website. When they've been around this long and stuff, I don't know, it makes me a little bit nervous. But when an ecosystem decides to move, a lot of times the meme coins in that ecosystem will get a pump. And this is looking like it's probably one of the most native ecosystems here. Or meme coins, sorry, in the ecosystem. Reliable J says, I lurk too. I do too, mainly in the Discord because I don't have much time more than reading, but I care. Hey, we love that. And I've seen you post in the Discord for sure a few times. The fastest meme on the blockchain. And a link to the Discord in the descriptions for anybody who hasn't already joined. We'd love to see you over there. We'd love to know how you got into crypto and what kind of stuff in crypto you really care about, right? SEI is really a good buy at this level. Not financial advice, but it will be a star of the cycle for sure. I am just reading out of the comments. I'm not saying that verbatim because I don't give financial advice. But I bought some SEI a while ago. I don't know if it's underwater or not. I can't remember when I bought it, but I think it's going to do well at some point. And I honestly really think that Dragon Swap, I need to write that down. What was the ticker for Dragon Swap? I think Dragon Swap is one to keep an eye on because if you see SEI start moving, I mean, Dragon Swap looks like it's the main exchange. It only has $7 million in market cap. It's DRG is the ticker. That seems like something I want to keep an eye on, right? So, I mean, where should we go? The coin perspective, we haven't been there in a while, right? What is the coin perspective? The coin perspective is a wonderful place to do moon math, right? The coin perspective. And yes, you need the in it. Otherwise, I don't think it'll come up. We want to look at DRG. Can't spell with one hand. I don't know what that's about. So you're going to get a lot of different things. But Dragon Swap is there. And let's compare it to Pancake Swap. Because they're both swaps, right? Woo. And Pancake Swap is not the biggest. Uniswap would be the biggest, right? Pancake only has a market cap of $1.1 billion. And I've used Binance Smart Chain for a really long time. You can see how big BNB is, how big Binance is. And yeah, you do 151x if Dragon Swap got got the same market cap as Pancake Swap. And $1 billion is not that big. Not that big at all. Now, the question is, what other competitors do you have for swaps on SEI? That I don't really know. That's something that we're going to kind of get into here. Very interesting. What is going on in this chat? Anyone surviving high leverage trading? I'm not high leverage trading at this moment. Not currently. 10 a.m. in Hong Kong. Hang on, Orphan. He says it's 9 a.m. in Bangkok City. I got demolished on the crash, says Mr. J, and now I'm in and out in short scalps. Funky price action, though, barely hanging on. In my opinion, what I do, as much as I love trading and stuff as much as anybody, I like to hold most of my money in spot positions. Slow and steady. And I'm not telling you to do that, right? I'm saying that's what I do. I would love to learn more. as you go. I read what you do. Thank you. So informative. And that community charts tab, it's got a lot of information. That in the main hangout in the Discord has a lot of information. I love we are worldwide. It makes my heart smile. Yeah, exactly. I love how many people interact with this that are not from here. Mr. J in Hong Kong. You know, Orhan in Bangkok. Who else is other? Blues guys in Canada. Cheers. What a lovely community here in the underground. Exactly. Blues guy referred to us as undergrounders today on the Lifer channel. I kind of like that. I like undergrounders. I like undergroundians. It's much longer. It doesn't really roll off the tongue, but I think it sounds cooler. Anyways, I want to look for some other swaps. So we just looked at Millie, which was a meme coin. We have skipped plenty of things that are very obviously stable coins. I don't know why that took so long for me to compute here. You know how when you have a cold and you like on the last day of the cold or whatever, and you get like that back pain for no reason? That's what I'm dealing with today. It's hard to stand up here. And then I decided to go on like a 2-hour walk because I thought it would help, but then I immediately got in here and did the stream. So I don't see any other swaps. I wish I could search swaps, right? Super Saiyan ETH. I like that. That's hilarious. And I mean, that kind of confirms that it's Say, right? And not, well, it's literally Say. Never mind. I thought they spelled it differently. Disregard that. But anyways, it sucks sitting down. I do have a new camera, and I have it set up so I can actually sit in the chair and stuff. I just haven't actually messed with it, so it probably ruined the stream. We'll do that at the very end. Oh, you saw my super chats? Absolutely, Blues Guy. I liked them. I know it doesn't really like tell you who liked them, right? And when they're $2 super chats, they don't let you comment on them. When they're like $5 ones, I could comment. It says, I have a cold too. I feel you. Yeah, I don't know. It's been weird. Energy level's been great and all that stuff. I haven't really been sick. Just my when I get sick or have any kind of cold or anything, my sinuses are the first things to get inflamed and just give me issues. And that's why I sound all nasally. When I do my mic check, I can hear it, and it's very annoying. I'm very surprised any of you guys are here listening with how annoying my voice sounds when I have sinus flare-up or cold or whatever it is. I don't know. Sounds nice. Just roll off the tongue. Exactly. Undergrinders. I don't know if I like undergrinders. Just, you know. In America, there is a app called Grinders or something of that nature. I think that's what it's called. And it's not an app I would ever use, that's for sure. So I don't know. It's a little bit close. And then you're underground. Like I don't know. I don't like that. We're going to be the undergroundians or undergrounders. Undergrounders is fine. Oh, man. Said, just had a biopsy done, and it was worried they wouldn't do it since I have a cold. They did take it anyways because I didn't have a fever. Yeah, I haven't had any fevers or anything like that. BTC keeps rejecting the 5-minute 200. Yeah, and it keeps rejecting the 15-minute 200 as well. Not liking that, right? Order block absorption going harder than a hashtag, than a number. I don't know what he's talking about. That bot is always just kicking stuff out. Feinster's holding the line. Finkster's holding the line. Okay. Orhan for real. Orhan might be a bot. I do say it a lot, but I'm still not 100% sure, and I guess I won't be until I meet him in real life. Then I'll be sure that he's not a bot. Real gem token. Is it a real gem? Or is it a digital gem? 2.5 million. How long has this thing been around? Since July 2nd, 2025. The chart looks not the most healthy. Infinite max supply. Golden asset. Gem swap. So we found another swap. You are an experienced investor from the Republic of Singapore. I mean, I'm not. What is the penalty of lying here? I don't know. What are they going to do? So yeah, this is a swap for people in Singapore. And obviously I am an experienced investor from Singapore. I have a Palau digital residency ID, and I'm American, and I don't know my geography very well. So that's like the same place, right? They're probably really close. Their land masses probably touch each other, and that makes them practically the same thing, right? So I didn't lie. What do we got going on in the chat here? Price discovery, stall bot, farm bill. There you go. Or I think you can't see my messages anymore. What does Crypto Keep saying? Look at my previous message about size swap. I'm sorry, Crypto Keep. I don't know how you got buried. Also, Simba and Kryptonite. I guess you just got buried in that other chat, Crypto Keep. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, I think you can't see my message. Right. You ever seen those like videos where like the older sibling like pretends that like the other sibling's like invisible or something, you know? And then they start like, it takes a while, but eventually they start buying into it and they like start freaking out that they're like invisible. And or hands on it, he's keeping me on task here. Says side dexes, dragon, OKU, sparrow, Simba. Oh, so there's a lot of them. Well, let's go to by market cap list of the projects on SEI, and let's see if we can find any of these projects that he's talking about, right? So first of all, we have OKU. Anybody see OKU here? All right, screw that. We're just going to look them up, right? OKU. Trade what? OKU. Scroll. I don't know. Filecoin. I'm not finding an OKU. I don't doubt you, but it just might not be on CoinGecko because it's so small. And then he says Sparrow. Also not finding anything with Sparrow. We got Simba. Did I spell that right? Let's see. Simba. Not really getting anything for Simba. And Kryptonite. Yeah, no, I probably spelled that wrong. Yeah. Yep. So the only one that really came up was Kryptonite. It is on the SEI ecosystem, and it has a $170,000 market cap. So I'm going to go with this is probably not a real competitor to Dragon Swap. I like how they went with the same layout as XRT. Anybody else see that? Same colorway. I don't know. I mean, you could get into it. This thing could blow up. I mean, it's so small that like $100 could take you some places. It's also so small it might not get a lot of attention either. And it's been up before. It's been around for a while too. August 13, 2023. I like Dragon Swap better. I'm going to admit. I like Dragon Swap much better. And I have a feeling most people will. And when I looked at the website, it looked like it was built better. And it has a much bigger market cap, even if it is absolutely tiny. It may not be on CoinGecko exactly. I do see some of these projects on Coinbase. Okay. Guess I need to have something else up as well, huh? All right, let's see. Let's bring this up. Bam. All right. So our ChatGPT 5 research here. What is SEI? SEI is a layer 1 blockchain built for high performance, optimized especially for trading, DeFi, and order matching use cases. So it's very niched. I like a very niched out layer 1 because It just got to do what it does well. It doesn't really have to do everything, right? We have Ethereum for everything, right? No? Yes? Maybe? Maybe Solana? All right, so say its goal, combining the speed of Web 2 or centralized system with blockchain security and decentralization. When and how did it launch? The mainnet or beta launched mid-late 2023. Its team is actively building upgrades, which is something that's super important. And one day we figured out where we could go for the different chains to figure out and look at how many developers they had and stuff. And I already forgot how to do that. So we're going to have to look that all up again. So to push through scalability and new architectures, core mission, why it stands out. It's not just a general purpose chain. This is why I like it a lot. SEI is specialized for trading DEXs with built-in support for order matching, reducing slippage, and faster finality. And this is another reason why swaps on this might do really well, right? The architecture is optimized for parallel execution and to boost throughput. They are moving towards a more aggressive upgrade called, say, Giga, which we did see a little bit about, which aims for extremely high throughputs and multi-purposer consensus, right? Technical highlights and innovations. All right, we're up to date on chat. These are some of the cool tech pieces that you can call out on stream. Oh, wow, I like that little tidbit that they gave us, right? Trying to tell me how to do my stream again. I don't like it. Parallel execution, optimistic parallelization. And like ChatGPT just knows I have a stream. This is like a new window I brought up. I didn't even tell it anything about the stream, I don't think. What it does, why it matters, allows multiple non-conflicting transactions to run concurrently rather than strictly sequential, which is where they talk a lot about that parallelized, which I'm sure I'm not saying right, but you know. I'm just going to blame the sinus cold. Helps scale throughput, reduces waiting for blocks. All right, so twin turbo consensus. Ooh, if you're into cars, that probably sounds really cool. I don't know. I'm not a car person, or a mechanic, I should say. Combines intelligent block propagation, optimistic block processing to speed up block finality. In practice, reduces latency. So what does all that mean? It means it reduces latency. What is latency? Latency is like a lag. Say DB and storage optimization, a reworked storage layer to make state access, block commit, and history handling faster and lighter. Order matching, a central limit order book support, native order matching capabilities rather than purely a automated market maker built into the protocol, right? Helps with low slippage, faster trading, and advanced trading features. Single block execution of orders. The ability to place, execute orders within the same block, no extra delays in many cases. Reduces front-running risks. Improves user experience. Then you have this SEI, Giga, and Autobahn consensus. I mean, what is an Autobahn? It's a very fast highway, right, in Europe. Next generation architecture, multi-purposer, decoupling execution from consensus, aiming for 2,000 throughputs per second and 5 gigags throughput, right? Whatever that means. Very, 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 very fast, right? Ambitious, still under development and testing. Like, gives me tips and stuff. No, I'm good, dude. I will run my show how I want to run my show. Utility. I'm just playing around, guys. Utility roles for SEI. Used to pay for gas, right? So what does SEI do? It's used to pay for gas, transaction fees on chains. It's the native token used for staking, validator, delegation to secure the network, governance. SEI holders can vote on upgrades proposals just like many layer ones. Ethereum is that way. Bitcoin is that way. I think Bitcoin's that way. I know Ethereum is. Used for ecosystem incentives, staking rewards, and liquidity and yield protocols. So supply distribution, approximately 10 billion SEI in supply, right? But not in circulating supply. Token allocation, significant portions reserved for ecosystem, team, foundation, and community. Vesting schedule applies to early investors. Team allocates to avoid huge dumps, right? Current metric, TVL and adoption. TVL has seen decent growth though depending on source, right? Some report $200 to $300 million, or yeah, 200 to 300 million levels. Okay. Ecosystem count dozens to hundreds of dApps building on SEI. Metrics like number of validators, percent stake, network activity, good to show live on stream. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for that. And we will hop back to risks and strengths in a minute, but first, a word from our sponsor, Millie the meme coin. No, I'm just kidding. This is not a sponsor. And here's the contract address, and here's how you buy it. You create a wallet, get you some SEI, and then buy some Millie. It's very straightforward, and you could even, looks like you could just swap it right here. And this is built by OpenOcean. OpenOcean.finance. It is probably multi-purposeful, right? OpenOcean is probably not a SEI native project. That's just my guess here. So market. Very interesting. All right, well, that's good to know. We'll get rid of that. We will go back. Orhan wants to know if we can get some likes over here. I hope so. Smash that like button. It's amazing how hard it is to get people to hit a like button. Like, crazy. I mean, look how many people Lifer usually has. Like 1,500 people on a live stream. And it'll be like, 500-600 likes is pretty decent. A lot of times it'll be 200-300. What is up with people in the like button? It's kind of crazy, right? And so we went through a few things. We ended on Millie there. Grand Gangsta City. Now, one thing I did have kind of programmed in here, and let's see if this will work. Now, forgive me, because it's probably going to look a little crazy when I hit it. Okay, well, there we go. It takes me a second. I got to reorchestrate some stuff here. All right, and I am way closer. Let's see if I can do this real quick, because my back is killing me. I legit have no idea what's going to happen here. First time getting to sit. First time I get to sit down on stream. I got to bring this down more. Dang, is that as far down as it's going to go? Oh, man, this is nice. I could get used to this. It would be nice to have this option while we're streaming. At least like I could start off standing up. All right. Oh, my lower back is way too tight. All right. Right, just smash. Yeah, what's going on? Why can't people just do it? Unless it's discussed, usually onlookers don't understand how likes affect your business or the algo. Oh, yeah, they definitely do. But then when you tell them, like, so many times to hit the like button, then what's the excuse, right? My webcam here is a little bit overly zoomed in. This is my new webcam. It's supposed to be way better. It's supposed to be 4K even. I don't know if I feel like it's 4K. Problem with a lot of webcams is that they will be very zoomed out, and they're really good quality when they're zoomed out, but you got to zoom them in a little bit, right, in order to fit it inside the green screen, and then it gets a little bit weird. All right, let's see what we got. Official Dapper DB. I feel like I've seen him on here before. Would a summary be for making money from altcoins be narrative ecosystem, meme coin, and then rotate to the next narrative ecosystem meme? I mean, that's one way to look at it if you're trying to make your money off of memes. I find that memes can be a lot harder to chase down, more abundant. There's more of them, and you can get washed pretty easily too. So let's see. Lindsay Lynn says glitching less. I don't know. I just started doing this, so I don't know if it glitches less. I assume you're talking about the webcam, right? Looks smooth. Sounds good too. The microphone is a good microphone, so I'm not using the microphone on the webcam. Otherwise, the mic would be absolutely terrible. See what it looks like. I wish I could zoom it out a little bit, but if I start messing with the settings on OBS right now, we're going to be cooked here in a minute. All right, so just want to break things up a little bit. I do want to talk about the risks We were at strengths, risks, and challenges for SEI. But I do want to kind of break it up a little bit. What is this Grand Gangsta City? Sounds like a game. It is built on SEI. It is GameFi. Game Studio. Okay, so that's very interesting. They don't have a website. I feel like that is not a good move. And the block explorer is called SEI Trace. I like that. That is a cool name for the block explorer. It says Giggles is an example on BNB. BNB was doing well price-wise, and then Giggles took off. Thanks, just trying to survive the jungle. Yeah, absolutely, and your comment here is most welcome, man. I get what you're saying, totally. One, I don't give advice on financial stuff like that necessarily, but if I was talking about what I was doing, I would say you just got to know your strategy. Like, if you really are trying to play off of meme coins, I don't know if I would consider Giggle a meme coin, although I guess it would be. At the same time, you could consider it a meme coin. But either way, I would say that's one way to do it. Some people might want to bet more on liquidity providers, right? Think Aerodrome or Deepbook for SWI. And that's one way to do it. Some people might like things like Pancake Swap and different swaps, like we talked about Dragon for SEI. So, you know, you can find a place within the ecosystem. Memes, in my opinion, though, this is kind of the takeaway that I'd like to say to official Dapper, is that meme coins are kind of at the end of the liquidity. And they're also very much retail centered, right? Not institutional centered. So I would like personally to get into more of where liquidity is going to lie, where institutions are rather going to put money or be moving through that ecosystem, and you're going to see influxes or price go up for something like a swap because they have to buy a bunch of, you know, Dragon and SEI to do some swapping. Really, they can swap in SEI, right? They don't have to swap in Dragon, but you get my point. If they know everybody's swapping, maybe they buy some Dragon. I don't know. We've seen Pancake Swap do really well. So I would look even past swaps and look directly for liquidity providers. Sorry, I know this stream is about SEI. Thank you for commenting. Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, you could make it relevant to SEI for sure. It really is any ecosystem. So they have 17.6 thousand followers. Play to earn, rule the streets. This is pretty interesting. It is obviously just Grand Theft Auto, right? Gangster City has it all. And this isn't just a game. Wow. Okay, I'm going to write this down because this looks like something fun for GameFi Friday. I don't remember what the ticker was. What's the ticker for this thing? GGC. Love a good web game, right? So let's go and look at how long this has been around. Since July 25th, 2025. It says, I appreciate your explanation. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming in and having something to say. Love that. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit that Discord link and join the Discord. That way, if you ever want to ask me something again and I'm not live streaming. Bitcoin is good because no one thought of having to use it. It just became a convenience. Yeah, it's a good take, Orhan. All right. So Grand Gangster's 24-hour trading volume is $38. So let that tell you a lot about how much people care about this. I don't know where their game is, right? Where is the game? They had a cool little video, right? This video looks like this game looks way too high quality to even be something that they've built yet, right? This seems more like what they want it to look like. This kind of looks like maybe they took it from another game. I don't know. Raw action to clever strategy to heart-pounding thrills. Grand Gangster City has it all. This isn't just a game. Yada, yada, yada. The streets of Grand Gangster are opening soon. I could see this launching and doing really well, though. Grand Gangster City, LOL. Yeah, exactly. Tell me that they ripped off. Tell me that they make the case for the fact that they didn't rip off Grand Theft Auto. And there's another game that is like a mob game as well. Oh, there's a few of them, right? Man, why do they keep doing this? As far as I know, there is no actual airdrop for grass. I got to keep blocking these people. Sorry, I should do this on my own time. I do apologize. All right, so let's hop back over. And you start to get really small here, right? We're talking under $2 million market cap for this thing. And I knew that the deep dive for this was going to be a very small ecosystem to go over. Oh, here's Kryptonite. Here's Say, right? And we're probably going to cut it there, right? Because we get into stuff that doesn't even have a market cap, right? Very tiny market caps. So that's why we spent even more time on the other stuff earlier today. So let's go to top gainers, top losers, right? Because we didn't do that yet. Top gainers, top losers. I hope it's not a rug. Yeah. Yeah, anybody can put together codes from GitHub and GIFwrap. Exactly. I'm back. This is more fun than work, LOL. What's up, Garden Warrior? We appreciate you coming on back. Reliable J says, BNB coin, for example, over the past 10 years, or Cake, or any solid coins. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He gets it. So here are our top gainers. Obviously, Bless up 500%. Who had that on their crypto bingo card? I sure didn't. I like this 2 different webcams. Sorry, I have OBS pulled up and I actually went to look at it. It does look like it's working really well. So I like this webcam. And now I can actually sit down and go back and forth. So I like that a lot. We have this versatility. And look how you go from like 500% up to the next one's 50% up. And then like it's significantly less. Tag. Didn't Orhan talk about Tag? I feel like you did. Well, not anybody, but a person who is good at coding, which is a lot. Yeah, exactly. Aikido, we talked about this the other day. It's probably worth pulling up, right? Aikido.fun. Max Chart says it's been around since August 21st, 2025. Only 43 million in its market cap. Only 22.7 billion coins out of 100 are out right now into the circulating supply. And if you go to its website, although the games are rather simple, it's like all about having AI build games, right? Isn't that what they were talking about? Yeah. Aikido AI can build you games, but like, look at what the games are, right? Let's go to this one. Says I was logged in. I am not logged in. Anyways, we're not logged in, but you can see the pictures of them. That's what they look like. They're very simple. Garden Warrior says looks good. Thank you, man. This is you were out for a minute, Garden Warrior. I got tired of standing up. I actually have a new webcam so that I can actually sit down. So that's nice. I use my phone for the chat. If you wonder what I'm like always looking down at and messing with. Yes, sir. Big pumper. Yeah. What was it up? It was up something. 28.8%. And Aikido, we went over that on a Game 5 Friday. Pirate Chain now starting to get the move, right? Is that because Zcash has pumped so much and you have people running into the market thinking that now all the coins that are privacy coins are going to pump? Feels a lot like what people did over the decentralized exchange, right? Over the decentralized exchange, we had some pumpers, 2-3 projects pumped real good, and then they started everybody had the code, and they were just copying and making a project, and it died out. I feel like that oversaturation is what absolutely kills the momentum, right? R, yeah, ticker R, exactly. I love their ticker. It's like the most fitting ticker for a project that I've ever seen. So Fifi, top loser. Knockchain is a top loser. Fifi's down 80%. These are things that we looked at as they were pumping the other day. What is worse is when you see something like Portal to Bitcoin in a top loser and we didn't see it pumping, right? AIA, decentralized, de-agent AI, was another one. Yi Finance down 23%. It was pumping big yesterday. Apex, BNB Attation. Yeah, Adation? I don't know. I'm tired. I don't even want to try to say that. I don't know why that word trips me up every time. Giggles down 20%. Punk strategy. I don't know why I don't like punk strategy at all, but I don't. I do love the idea of it for other stuff, which is why I like Pudgy strategy a lot. I like that. And I don't even own any Pudgy Penguins. So we're just looking at stuff. We will pull some of these things up here in a minute and take a look at them. Darkstar. Isn't Darkstar the game I always play? You would think I would know that, but I guess I don't. Or maybe I do. So, yeah. So, Darkstar, I literally have the game up right now, is this game that we always play. Or I always play. I don't know if we always play it. There's too many coins. This bubble will pop. Absolutely, but I don't think it'll deter people from, I don't know, continuing to make way too many coins. Saturation is a natural thing as people all flock to something when really the train has already left the station and they're late and they don't have a ticket. All right, what else is here? Nilion, Stone, Orhan's favorite coin in the game. No, I'm just playing. One that actually was in a really decent looking flag last time I looked at it. Looks like maybe it's starting to break out. Songbird. I owned some of that, and it's done nothing. I bought it a really long time ago, about like $10 worth. Why, I have no idea. Superverse, we've looked at that before. Origin Trail, we've looked at that before. This Quantix AI, that is very interesting. Only 7.6 million in its market cap. This might be worth looking at. How long has it been around? That tells me a lot. Since March 27th, 2024. El Cheeto says, anybody get the airdrop SHX for holding Stella? I have no idea. Did I have to claim it? I know I hold some Stella, but it's in a wallet I don't go to a lot. Absolutely, it's fantastic seeing the evolution of flow of liquidity throughout each cycle. Yeah, exactly. We're collecting data here, right, Orhan? Little Pudgy Party will do well. Little Pudgy Party. Okay. I love that. Train has already left the station, right? There's a train coming. I don't want to start singing. I'm a mega bull for anything Pudgy, says Mr. J. Yeah, I like it. I haven't actually bought anything. Look at this Quantix AI and just look how much it's up. Doesn't that just bother you that you didn't get a piece of that? Sorry, 1 second. Definitely need to blow my nose. All right. Hopefully my mute button worked, but it wasn't working earlier, so I don't know. Let's see. Dang, that thing is up 40,000%. Holy, whoa! And it's think about it, it's up 40,000%. When I see 40,000%, and I know it hasn't even been out that long, I know that it's got a decently low max supply. Yeah, only 10 million tokens. Wow, circulating supply less than 1 million. No wonder why that thing is ripping. Says, I'm a Bitcoin maxi, double maxi, triple maxi, quadruple maxi, Orhan always with the jokes. Someone told me and asked me about the coin the other day. Looked freshly new. Okay. Pudgy love for sure in the house. Wow. A lot of Pudgy lovers. Yeah. All of a sudden, my mute button doesn't work. I don't know why that is. I'll have to figure that out another time. I apologize. I tried. I guess I know another way to mute it. I could have done that. All right, let's go to the website. Let's forget that ever happened, right? So Quantix AI, invest smart with AI-driven precision. Leveraging data-driven investment strategies that maximize returns. Okay, this is interesting. I like this. This is your quantum like AI bot. How come when I hit launch, nothing launches? Get started now. All right, I'm going to go with they don't have a working product because both Get Started Now and Launch App, neither one of them work. Quantix AI is a high-performance engine built to analyze, predict, and execute trades with unmatched speed and precision. Why choose Quantix? Built for speed, precision, and ease, Quantix AI handles the hard part of trading. Lindsay Lynn says, it's okay, I'm blowing my nose too. It's the right thing now. Hey, what can I say? You know, we are human. As much as everybody wants to pretend that they're not on camera, on YouTube, everybody's perfect and all polished up and whatever else you want to add to it. I don't play those games. I would like to mute it so you don't have to hear that, but that's just out of common etiquette, right? If you make 50% gains, but you 2x it, you make 100% gains. Strategy. Okay, if you make 50% gains, and then you 2x it, then you made 100% gains. Okay. I don't feel like, why are you trying to make me do math, Orhan? I don't want to do math right now. Well, we're all human. I didn't mean Orhan, though. He's our bot. That's why he has a wrench. It's because he's supposed to bot us into excellence here on the stream. Energy Web token. Not pumping a lot. Not a narrative that I like a lot. Energy. Regenerative finance. They do have RWAs in there, but what is Energy Web? I remember people were making a big deal about this token. It was going to make so much money because it's, it's like carbon credits kind of narrative. Yes, deny all the cookies. So, Meet Energy Web, the global ecosystem accelerating the energy transition with open source technology and collaboration. I mean, when I heard about it, it was sold as like a carbon credit kind of thing, right? I don't know if they've kind of hid that somewhere or branded it different because that's not really attractive. What's its market cap? 53.2 million. Not that good. Look at that big old head and shoulders there that it like never recovered from. This thing is in the toilet. It's one of the few coins I'm glad to see not doing anything. It says, Orhan, all I heard is that you've been upgraded. All right. So where do we go from here, guys? Bitmart BMX token, been pumping. Yodel esports games. B3 or base, that looks interesting. What is that? B3.fun. The future of fun is now. Built on B3. Built on base. Well, let's play right now. I want to know basement.fun. Oh, this looks cool. What is this? I got to write this down. I do like that it's built on base, right? Did it have a base? Yeah, base contract. I love that. A lot of tokens, though, right? 30 billion in max supply, 65.7 million in market cap. How have I not heard of this thing? Smart contract platform, gaming blockchain. B3. Open app layer. The first horizontally scaled layer 3 consumer ecosystem built on top of Base, which is interesting because Base is a layer 2 of Ethereum, so this would be a layer 3 by definition, right? Says I'm a lurker for a reason, right? We need a shrine dedicated to bots and AI so Orhan don't come after us during the AI apocalypse. Hey, we want to have at least one AI on our side. That's hilarious chart. Yeah, exactly. So what happens if we click one of these? What is Stickman Hook? Because you could be gaming like this, and that's cool and all, but like, can I earn any money? Because if I can't earn any money, then I don't really know. This webcam does look like it is lagging and stuff way less, which I really like to see that. B3 crypto is the native token for the B3 base ecosystem. Yep, a layer 3 blockchain built on base layer 2. There you go. This just looks like a silly game, so I'm not going to bother trying to play it. It doesn't look very Web3 or play to earn, which is disappointing. Feel like that ruins it a little bit for me, but we'll see. Maybe I'm missing something. I didn't spend a ton of time. I'm trying to close out some of these tabs as we are getting some lag here. All right, and it is time for our crypto gambling session of the day. We will spin that $1, aka 5 spins. Did Blues Guy ever figure out how to get his bonus money? Was this stuff not there for you on your Canadian version of stake.com? All questions I don't have answers to. Yes, I think it is a good upgrade. Your camera, good job, friend. Hey, thank you. And we'll probably still use the other one a little bit. I don't know. I need to find a stand for my camera that I can easily move up and down a lot better. A lot easier, I should say. I have this new one like strapped to my top of my laptop. So when I move my table, it moves it, and I don't like that at all. But I'll figure it out. You know, it's one day at a time. But I'm glad that it's working well. I appreciate you guys saying that. And my humble opinion, say, is a medium for future of trading, which is algorithm, finality speed, where quants will dominate. Hey, that is a really hot, not a hot take, but a really good take, Orhan. That's why we love you being here. Let's go. Views picking up. Yeah, it is. We were up to like 28 people on here at one point. Let's go gamble hour. Maybe we'll keep everybody here with our successful money making as we gamble. And we're just going to play the same game most of the time so we all see it. All right, so what's the point of the game? We want to do all 10 spins. We really want to win a couple of cents to keep going. We only have enough for 5 spins. So if we don't win anything, if we don't win at least 15 cents in the 5 spins, then we won't get to do the grand finale, but then we'll get to do it tomorrow. And when we get the coins, it puts the number up top and they become a wild. So here, we'll do one spin to kind of show. Hopefully we get a coin, so you get my point. And we didn't get a coin, which sucks. But we want to fill at least these first 2, if not all of them, for wilds for the bigger hits, right? He says, Lindsay Lynn says, nice. Orhan says, you literally need a trading bot to win, such as Minotaur. Yeah, exactly. Because you're competing against bots, right? You're not just competing against other people who are human and are moving on the same wavelength as you. All right, we won 1 cent. We need more than 1 cent here to get that final spin. Okay, now we got 4 cents. Can we get something else? No. We're on our last spin. And we're not getting any coins either, which is super annoying. So that was pretty lame. At least it set us up for tomorrow, but we didn't get a lot of wilds or tokens, so that also is really lame. All right. And could you guys hear the slots as we were playing it? Come on, 15 cents. Yeah, exactly. We didn't get nothing. We'll have to try again tomorrow. Friday, where we might be doing a little bit more slots or something like that. So I will start collecting the dough for our Friday stream in the Discord. I don't know. This camera, is it lagging? I can't tell. You notice how around like the microphone and stuff looks kind of fuzzy? I don't know how I clean that up. And what is Marble EX? Gods of Troy, baby. Yep. And one time on a free $1, I won $375 on that game. So, don't act like it can't happen. I mean, let's be fair. I didn't just jump straight to $375. First, I won like $20, and that let me play for a little while. Then I won $375. Welcome to the underground. Exactly, underground crypto. So Marble X, MBX, on the daily, it's up 42%. Look at that. Absolutely nothing flat energy, and then just bang. Always some hidden gems here. Hey, thanks for saying that. 40 million in market cap. It has a Binance Kaya. I'm just going to call it Kaya. It's probably not how it's said, but that's how I want to say it, okay? Aptos. And this is the same network that Darkstar is built on. So are we starting to see a little bit of traction there? Because Darkstar was literally trending today as well. Is this another game? I don't know. Couldn't hear the music of the slot machine. That would be fun too. I'll have to turn it up next time. I know why. It's because it's probably turned down way too low. How's the music playing? Is there no music playing? Hey, it got me again. Blue Sky, if you do get the chance to let me know the music stops, I would appreciate that. No big deal if you didn't catch it. Like, don't stress it by any means. But if you do catch that, let me know. And that goes for anybody. If you notice the music stops, let me know. Yeah, no music, no music. Yeah, I just turned the music on. So has the music started yet? The music should have started. So no music. Sorry, I was cooking. Blues guy, you're good, dude. Don't stress it. Blues guy is our sound engineer. Come on, bro. The back and forth from Blues guy and Orhan is so much fun. Sup, brother? Hope all is well. What's up, Prime Minister of Japan? Yeah, all is definitely well. I appreciate you stopping on in. It was only a few minutes. Okay. I don't hear the music, though. Does anybody else hear the music? Yeah, I apologize. So the echoing in the background is from me playing it on my phone, trying to see if the music is playing. I know. Oh, okay. I know why it's not working. I hear the voices. It's probably not working because I have the wrong. Oh wait, no, that's not what I want to do. As I just like ruin everything. So I don't even know anymore. It looks like it's playing, but it's not playing. We're gonna move on. There's not a lot of time left here. I will fix that. So let's not waste all our time there. So I hear the voices. No worries. Troubleshoot away. I don't know. I want to do a minimum of 3-hour streams. How does everybody feel about that? Is 3 hours too much? Yeah, I hear a little now. Okay. Maybe it's just turned way down for some reason in the actual app. What's it doing in here? No, it's full ported. Turned it up a little bit. Bitcoin is going somewhere. Where? I don't know what music we're looking for. Just got here. Thanks. All right, let's look at what we're looking at while we're looking at it. And let's decline all the cookies because I don't want any of their cookies. So MarbleX, fun comes first. So is this a game? MarbleX is building the next generation gaming and interactive ecosystem under the slogan Fun Comes First. With experts from both gaming and blockchain industries, we deliver an immersive, can't they just say a immersive Web3 entertainment experience for users. I'm a newbie. I'm a gamer. Team up with MarbleX. I did not click on anything. What are you doing to me? All right. So yeah, how to play. Experience the thrill of gaming and rewards of earning at the excitement of collecting. There's endless fun to explore. Are they actually going to do play to earn gaming properly? I don't know. Games are about fun, right? At MarbleX, we don't just make fun games. We make it top notch. We make it up a notch. We take it up a notch. I'll just say whatever I want, and we will just disregard what they wrote on the paper on the website. and I'll just tell them what they're saying. So MarbleX is the flagship token. Very interesting, kind of this rise of this Kaya or KAIA layer 1, I guess it is. And again, Darkstar, this game, if it'll pop up. What are you doing to me here? All right, everything crashing. All right. What am I missing in this chat? It says, I hear music. See eyelids. Good night. All right, Mr. Reliable J. Can't call you Mr. J because we have a Mr. J. Reliable J, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Understand you hopping out. It's late. All right. Long streams are fine. Not everyone has short attention span, right? And yeah. I don't know how I can really cover very much in 45 minutes. We'd have to go live like 3 times a day. Yo, what's up, Blues Guy? Orhan, you funny man. Orhan is hilarious. So, Reliable J, sleep tight. Hopefully catch you in the AM. Yep. The beautiful thing is that we all will see each other in the morning. Bright and early. Trying to find where the fun is. Where's the games? Like, I want to actually play games. So we have Meta Toy Dragon Z Saga. Solo leveling Arise. God, I like solo leveling. Solo leveling's pretty cool. A long stream are good, especially in depth like this. Yeah, we got to raise our crypto IQ. Nobody goes to college for 30 minutes, right? And then acts like they learned anything. Most people go to college and don't learn anything. That's the crazy part. Pocket Girls, Idol. That scares me a little bit. Can't play that live. I don't know what's going to be on there. So let's take a look at this solo leveling. The interesting thing about stuff like this is, although this is really cool, and it looks like they haven't actually built anything yet, like, this is an actual show and stuff. They would need permission, like licensing and stuff like that, if they ever got any kind of monetary gain and stuff like that. That gets a little sketchy. Be really cool though. Official game site, right? For Meta Toy Dragons. This looks fire. Something about this project really screams they're actually going to build games that we could really play. How many DeFi gaming websites do you go to, and they've been around for years, and they don't even have a game that you could play? I think that part's kind of crazy. Humpa Lumpa. Okay, Blues Guy. Don't know what that's in relation to. It's good to just slow down and research these projects, especially when everything is down. Nothing wrong with a long stream, though, through the park, with a long stroll through the park. I like long streams over short streams. Okay, awesome. I also do, for sure. I would watch people in crypto, and they would do morning streams. I get it. They have whole companies to run, but they would go live for like 30, 40 minutes, and then I'd just be getting into it, and then they'd be done, and then I wouldn't know what to do with the rest of my day. So this is cool. They got some games. There's more coming soon. Obviously, they're building. MemeX Station. What is that? Hey, check out Compete and Champs token, bro. I think message got lost. Okay, Prime Minister, I do get drowned sometimes in the messages, so never feel bad about saying it again. Say it until you're heard, you know? Decline the cookies. I don't know what this is, and it doesn't want to load. Okay, so this is just like an extension of it, right? And they have an MemeX swap. There's a swap in this as well. That's the last thing I want to load, and then I'm going to look at what the Prime Minister of Japan said, because you can't ignore the Prime Minister of a country when he's in your chat. Launch app. Okay, we're moving on. I like this MarbleX. I'm going to write that down. Pretty cool. I want to come back to that, especially on Game 5 Friday. So let's go look at what Prime Minister was talking about. He says compete. Hopefully we don't have any trouble finding it. Here it is, compete. This looks cool. Oh, sitting down is so much better. I don't think I want to sit down the whole time, but it's nice to start that way. Corrections are definitely healthy to flush toxic liquidity and switch hands to institutional by institution. Yeah, that makes me laugh, says Lindsay Lins. Compete. Max Chart survey says March 13th, 2002. This thing has been around a long time to only have 1.7 million in market cap. But what is it? Oh, it's a game. Gaming tokens and projects get hurt a lot. That's for sure. Especially in bear markets, right? It says coming soon to PlayStation and Xbox. That is ambitious. This looks really cool though. Looks like a good game. They got the Blitz Royale kind of version. Reminds you of like a cross between Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Fortnite. You can get it for iOS and Android, Windows through Epic Games. It's pretty cool. Definitely a good shout out, Prime Minister of Japan. This is really cool. I'm going to write this down. And I got to mess with my settings and stuff a little bit more, but it looks like I'm going to have to buy like a high-powered gaming tower so that we can stream games, because definitely want to do that. But I think the right move would be kind of to wait until we get monetized, right? What was the other thing he said? And champs. Super champs. That's what I found. I see a retracement, then a bigger dump. That's just me or Ham, but once again, what do I know? I'm only the fact of my own ignorance. Exactly. Yeah, what Prime Minister says, we like the pace, can do work and research while watching Underground. I flashed a SEI play with Windows. I play compete on this every day. I flashed my SEI play with Windows. Okay. We might just... Oh, I got an alarm going off. It is 11. We might just moon too. The market is no longer readable. Manipulation excessive. Yeah, that's where everybody just got to take a deep breath, in my opinion, because we don't know what the market's going to do and when it's going to do it. Blues Guy, Asia Open, Breakout, Slam Dunk, Super Champs. Yep, we just pulled that up. Looks like the piping, yeah, bro, or pumping. Looks like pumping. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's really cool what Prime Minister said. It's funny, I can run and play just about anything on this gaming laptop. But when it comes to streaming it, that's just a whole different thing. It might have something to do with frame rates and stuff. I got a lot of stuff I got to mess with, and I just need the time to mess with it. So never enough time in a day, but you know, I could talk about that forever. $3.4 million in its market cap. So bigger than the compete. Let's go take a look at their website. Obviously, I think it's gaming. I think we covered that. So let's see, a mobile game. Do they have it for iOS and Android and stuff? Can you hear this? I know the music is probably overshadowing it. I apologize. It's a 42-second clip. Not worth touching all the settings. But it looks pretty cool. I like the comic book kind of artwork. I'm choosing quality coins over quantity this cycle. Only cycle niches will do very well. Very strange cycle, a lot of manipulation like Blue Sky mentioned. That's why I like these long streams. Take your time. Hey, thank you very much, Prime Minister. I will certainly do that. It's in harvest mode. Algo bots and hedge funds are hunting. That's why every breakout is met with a sell-off and vice versa. It's a post-crash mechanics. Man, Orhan always coming in here with the sauce. I got into VWA, but modesty this time, not big like I did with Binanceans. Hey, and where is Binanceans? Probably getting absolutely buried. This looks pretty cool though. I gotta write this down too. Let's write it down. And definitely Prime Minister of Japan, Mr. J, come to the Friday stream where we focus a lot more heavily on, you know, gaming tokens and stuff. Let's look at Binanceans. Can he spell Binanceans? He did it. Orhan with the facts. Yeah, I feel like what Orhan said, you got to read that like 3 times before you it really sinks in. Wow, Binanceans got cooked. And I mean I don't even know if this is the right one, man. This thing got cooked. Should have sold it. I knew it when my $5 went to $30. I knew I should have sold it. But when you get a pump like that all of a sudden, I was going to sit around and watch it all day. Wow. Well, this thing got cooked, right? Indeed, quality coins will be huge. It's the time for those coins rise like the Phoenix, right? I bought a coin called Phoenix one time on the XRPL ledger. It's a meme coin. Yeah, Super Champs is fun. It's a app. I love it. Compete and Champs are unique because they don't reward the token as an earning mechanism, which kills P2E projects. Yeah, it does. So do you earn anything from it? All major coins reached all-time high above pennies and then retraced down. It doesn't look good. Play to own is more sustainable. These are the projects to invest in for gaming. Okay, so play to own versus play to earn. That's a good take. And I know play to earn sounds really cool, but what projects have done that successfully? Like none. Like none of them have done that successfully. So what do I want to mention here? I do want to mention MemeX. Let's all join MemeX. Something really cool happened. I actually got some numbers actually pop up right here. 3.14%. So 3% of something I have from posting. I have 3% of, I have no idea. I'm 3% closer to winning $10,000 for this season. I have no idea what I'm 3% on, but if we could all get together and pump each other's MemeX account, that would be great. You know, if we can make some money here. I've said it a bunch of times. I don't see nobody, so I'm just going to keep saying it. Play to own is more sustainable. These are the projects to invest in for gaming, LOL. Okay, so I'm going to write something down here. Play to own versus play to earn. All right, I wrote that down so we can go far more into detail on Friday about that. Compete has NFT market. You can use the Compete token to buy items. This is the only sustainable model in play to earn. Using tokens as a currency versus a reward is better. Compete is free too. I like that idea a lot, but like if I can't earn any money from playing it, I don't know. That kind of, I don't like that, but I mean, if it just doesn't work right now, it just doesn't work, right? I followed you on MemeX, but no idea what to do there. Mr. J, it's like Twitter, so you just post stuff. I don't know. Grab a picture like here. Look, I posted, is this the next Pi network? And I posted this 375 Go, which I still actually have to set up. I downloaded the app and stuff. It looked pretty cool, but I never got it set up because I tried to download the Phantom Wallet and then it just glitched out on me and it wouldn't actually like download. It was really weird. So I just gave up in the moment. A lot of things to do in a day. A lot of things to do. So it says I'm at 3%. Are these people at 100%? I'm always trying to figure this out. No, I don't want to go staking. I want to go to the leaderboard. So these people have percentages. This guy has 12.48 percentage. Is it like the amount of holders or something? I can't figure this stuff out. I'm still trying to figure out what place I'm in and how I get in these places, right? What is going to move me into these places? Is it just likes and comments? Is it how many times I post? Is it all of it? I have no idea. So Orhan says, before crash, bots use wide trend filters. Range breakouts, smooth execution. Crash bots tighten volatility bands, increasing spoofing, and hunt thin liquidity zones aggressively. Prime Minister of Japan says, yeah, it works only if player base is high and demand for rare in-game items are in demand. Think of CSGO skins. That type of meta is how you would think money and play to own. Okay, that makes sense. Prime Minister of Japan, NFTs are definitely interesting. This is meta, bro. You on it. Good take, Orhan. Good take. So, yeah, MemeX, right? Did we cover that? So let's go back to SEI for a minute. So what are, for SEI, sorry, I'll stop calling it SEI. What are the strengths and competitive advantages? So the specialization in trading, decentralized, see how quickly we can just jump right back into it? The specialization in trading and decentralized exchange means SEI might outperform jack of all trade chains where it comes in order heavy use cases, right? Speed and low latency. Sub 400, I don't know where I got 500. Sub 400 MS finality and parallel execution gives it a real tech advantage. If that holds up in real world conditions, that is. Compatibility and dev friendliness. EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine compatibility helps attract Ethereum developers. Also support for Cosmos tools. Ambitious roadmap. The Giga upgrade is a bold bet. If successful, could leapfrog many competitors. That'd be really cool. Built-in order match and CLOB. Many chains rely on external order books. Matching engines say has it more tightly integrated. Risks and challenges and what to watch. So execution under real load, right? Promises like 200,000 TPS are impressive, but real world stress test, network latency, state bloat, and edge cases will be the key. Competitors, many layer ones, high throughput like Solana, Sui, Aptos, etc. are vying for market share. Decentralized versus performance. The more performance you push, the more pressure on validators and node infrastructure may lead to centralized risks. Token unlocks, vesting cliffs, large allocations to team investors if unlocked too fast could cause downward pressure, or if Bitcoin just dumps, right? Adoption network effects. Tech is one thing, convincing developers, users, liquidity to move is harder. Governance upgrade risk. As they push ambitious upgrades, Giga multi-purpose bugs, delays, and community disputes are possible, right? And I think that really covers that. I just wanted to get back to that and not skip that. But that was kind of our risks and concerns for it. Let's hop back to the chat. NFTs will definitely be back the wee moon. Okay. We'll definitely be back when we moon, I think is what he means. Thanks, Orhan. Just trying to position early because when the meta returns, it will already be too late. Prices will be sky high. Exactly. It's always been limited items such as NFTs, Bitcoins, designer clothes, drops. As the Prime Minister says, video game items, they appreciate in price over time. Yeah, definitely. I don't know why Gala Games is not working. So we're past the 3-hour mark here. I think we've had a pretty awesome stream, packed full of information. We had a couple rough days there as I was just trying to make sure that I did a stream, and I don't know. It was the most like I felt fine, but I also wasn't fine all at the same time. Think about that. So it's like I think I'm good, but I'm not good, but I think I'm good, but I'm not. So It's like you think you're good when you're sitting down, you get up to do something, and you're like, there's no way I can do it. But we're past that now. Even if my sinuses are a little bit flared up, I feel much better, and we will be back to our regular programming here. And I won't be here Saturday. And I'll link that my buddy's band in the Discord. Definitely check them out on Spotify. They're in all kinds of different places. There's an item in Compete now going for 50K. Yeah, I don't doubt that. There will always be some really high class items that cost a lot of money. I feel like I'm like smashed up against this microphone and I don't need to be. El Cheeto says, amazing stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody who's been here. It's been like a solid 15, 16 people here, and that's awesome. And we at one point we were up to like 28 people. It's really interesting when I end the stream and I get to see how many people came through in the entirety of the stream. We got to sell Orhan's pumpkins live on stream, right? Sorry, my phone's in the way. Nice, I will check them out. So weird. My cat just like reached under the door and grabbed a clothes hanger and just like slowly pulled it under the door. What is that cat up to? I'm more of a dog person. My wife wanted a cat. I don't need to tell you that, but you know, I'm transparent. What can I say? Why do I even play this game? I don't know. It's like an idle game. It's kind of entertaining. And there are competitions where you could win, but in order to really be competitive in this game, I think you have to own NFTs and stuff. Really, I'm just selling sugar to the neighbors. That's my business model here. I'm trying to branch into some other stuff. I was trying to make some candy canes, but I can't figure out the power stuff, right? I got 1 power ready to go, but I think I need 5 or something. I don't know. None of that really matters, right? None of that really matters. What I'd much rather do, honestly, is play around to this. Gotta claim our daily rewards. Do our upgrades here. For my like workflow and stuff, a game like this is about the most gaming that I can actually do. So yeah. Oh man, did I click adventure? I did not want to click adventure. I wanted to go to the challenge. Orhan says, I wonder how many of these games are actually money launderies. Hey, hot take, Orhan with the hot takes. But I mean, I agree with you. Who knows? I feel like I could literally just sit in the middle and like not do anything. And this is Darkstar. It was actually trending today, or it was in the top gainers today, which is really interesting. I still have never figured out the wallet. I really hope they're giving me Darkstar tokens. They're probably not. It says you can earn a minimum of $5 a day. That is such like a bold claim to like, I've absolutely not seen anything out of that. I know I talk about it every day, but you know, what else am I supposed to talk about while I'm playing it? Come on and hit the 1 million jackpot. Yeah, I hope so. Why does that one have a shield? Okay, what's up with the ones with shields? I don't like that. What does that even do? I don't even know what that does. Yeah, we want some health recovery every couple seconds. And by the way, for those who don't know, this is kind of a wrap up the stream kind of thing. We just chill and play some video games. Some Web3 video games, right? At least this game is entertaining to play, even if I'm not winning anything. A lot of other games, it's like you're playing them because you think you're gonna like win something, and like realistically, you never really earn anything. And then they're not even fun to play, so you really feel like you wasted your time at that point, right? Got that little health pack, even though I didn't need it. It does make it really hard to read the chat, so when I get like an upgrade, then I can stop for a minute. Says, bro, you're overpowered on that game. Sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I don't. My wife is texting me I need to wrap it up. That's always fun. So don't you know that I run a crypto live stream? She probably sees me playing this game and she's probably like, yeah, you need to get in here and watch these kids. Really, we just have stuff for my other business, our other business. Be honest, she holds a lot of that down for me so I can do this. So definitely appreciate my wife a lot. So I guess I got to wrap it up. This game could play on and on, honestly, for a while. We might be cooked here. Right, has anybody else downloaded this game and started playing it because I play it so much? It'd be cool if there was like a 2-player mode. That would be fire. All right, guys. Well, everybody have a good night. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Yeah. Blues guy saying, better get going. You need to rest. Remember, you're not 100%. He's absolutely right. I do be pushing it. I don't know how to not push it a lot of the time. And we've done 3 hours and 21 minutes, so I get it. Happy wife, happy life. Your cat can stall her forever. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, man. All right, guys. Have a great night. Stay underground. Stay crypto. It was a lot of fun. Good night, bro. I've been hooked on Darkstar. Hey, I'm glad to hear somebody else has been playing it. Great stream as always. And we'll be back again tomorrow. And it'll be Thursday. And I don't know what we're going to go over, but we're going to go over something. And we're going to raise that crypto IQ. The only game I play is Don't Get Liquidated. Yeah, that's Orhan for you right there. Our favorite trading bot. Because you, but no rewards yet. Through fun game. I don't know why I can't read. I'm sorry. Because of you, but no rewards yet, though fun game. Yeah, exactly. Have a good one and later chat. Yep. If anybody has any questions, they want to say anything, just hop in the Discord. I would love to talk to you there. And have a good night. Stay underground. Stay crypto.